that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. On a Tuesday, Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. Simone behind the glass for us today. And a lot going on in the world of basketball, not just men's basketball, women's basketball as well. The WNBA kicks off today, and what better way to kick it off than with the official name of the, I guess, closest WNBA team to Sacramento, with the Golden State Valkyries officially coming out with their name and their color. Chris Watkins and their color. We will discuss the color scheme that they went in. Obviously, we have NBA playoffs as there was more action last night. The Combine continues to roll on, the NBA Combine. Chris and I have been talking to different scouts and draft aficionados that are out there at the Combine right now and what it means for some of the prospects that might be around at number 13 and guys that are moving up, guys that are moving down. And Keith Smith from Spotrac, who always has a lot of good things to bring up in terms of the team's financials, he has basically put out his breakdown on the Kings financials. So we will get into that around 11:30, and we continue to discuss what the Kings can do to improve, where they fall on the tier list compared to other teams in the league. And towards the end of the show, we will get into some Brock Purdy comparisons and whether or not you should be supporting the A's, either if you're from Sacramento or from the Bay. Chris Watkins, how you doing?
Good, yeah. We right before we hopped on, you played me that sound that you just played, and it's definitely interesting, that A's conversation. So excited to have that one, and I was excited to learn this morning the Valkyries name. I guess they unveiled it on Good Morning America, did a whole grand reveal for everything, and we definitely have some thoughts for sure. So excited to talk about that too, because like you said, WNBA starts today. Caitlin Clark's going to be on national TV again, and just excited for the action as well in the NBA. You got Pacers, Knicks. Starting to feel like the Pacers might be just able to outlast the Knicks. Essentially, I'm getting afraid that they're getting tired. So that series is going to go on tonight, and then T-Wolves Nuggets too. Just gonna be a good day for basketball today. I can feel it. I can just feel it in the air.
Speaking of Caitlin Clark, this is per TickPick. They have sold twice the amount of tickets for tonight's home opener between the Connecticut Sun versus the Indiana Fever than they sold for Suns home games all of last season. The get-in price is currently $103. The Suns' next home game get-in is $17.
Oh my goodness!
The Caitlin Clark effect.
Yeah, I mean that's how it's going to be. Every single arena she goes to is going to be completely packed. It's going to be wild. Definitely, like I said, I was watching that Full Court Press documentary over the weekend, and a lot of it was just interesting to hear how Caitlin has dealt with like the pressure of those big situations, whether it was like breaking, Kelsey Plum's women's all-time scoring record in college to Pete Maravich's record, and then playing LSU, playing South Carolina, just all the packed stages that she's been in front of. Like it's going to be interesting for the WNBA just to see how many eyes there really are at the end of the season, because it's always there's a lot of momentum carrying this right now. And you got the charter flights and all those things. It seems everything's working in the right direction for the W, but it will be interesting as the season goes on. This almost, and I love the WNBA. I'm a huge watcher of it, but I wonder sometimes this is reminding me almost of like when during COVID, when everyone got into the Korean baseball league, because it was like the first league that was playing sports after. And I just remember the first couple games of that, everyone was paying attention to, but by the end of the year, everybody had forgotten, I picked the Dinos to be my team or whatever.
Right.
I'm just curious how much staying power it's going to have, because, obviously the NBA playoffs are going on right now. So basketball is kind of in the main sphere of conversation. But once the NBA season's over and WNBA really is the spotlight and it's just them and baseball, I'm curious if all of this is going to continue. I definitely hope it does, but I think it might be a longer season than what people are anticipating.
Well, and we had talked about the fact that I finally watched King Richard. What was that? A couple weeks ago. And this is just a different type of pressure for Caitlin Clark than it is for other players and other athletes that you've done things before, right? So with the Williams sisters, it was completely different. You had never seen not just one, but two Black women from Compton, right, trying to make it in tennis. And that was I wouldn't say a huge part of the story, but it was a very obvious part of the story. And they had to carry that torch. That is a different pressure than just being the number one overall pick. In my opinion, Caitlin Clark, I mean, she has more pressure on her than Victor Wembanyama to me, because it's different. You're trying to carry a whole league. You're trying to carry a whole league. You're trying to carry a whole movement. Victor Wembanyama, it's pressure for him, but the NBA is going to be around whether Victor Wembanyama figures it out or not. That's just what it is. So I do think that, to your point about the staying power of this, I do think that now maybe not this year, because you have Victor Wembanyama, who's supposed to be just the next big thing, and now you have another draft where this is supposed to be one of the worst drafts in the last 25 years, right? But there is something to be said that every year there's a number one overall pick who people will convince themselves this person is maybe not can't miss, but this guy is going to be really good. Maybe not to the level as Victor Wembanyama or LeBron James, but they come around pretty often. Zion, in men's sports. They come around. If you figure it out, great. If not, whatever, because next year we got another one.
Exactly.
The thing with Caitlin Clark that I think may give the WNBA more staying power, assuming that she has to be good. Right. Don't get me wrong, but it's that there isn't going to be another Caitlin Clark next season. Right. So you're more invested, and you don't see this very often. Every single year there's a number one overall pick, not just in the NBA, in the NFL or whatever it is. And now everybody will clamor to that person until the next person comes along that next season. With Caitlin Clark, this is it. It's unique. It's different. And I would say this, and you would know better than me, Chris, it's a shorter season than the NBA. So I think that really helps.
Yeah. I think it's I was going to look up today. I know it's 30 something games that they play. But it's a crazy schedule. That is the one thing that I think people will like, at least in the initial stage. I was listening to them talk yesterday, and they think they play 11 games in 20 days or something like that. So it's a really jam-packed schedule. So I think there's going to be a big influx of people watching at the beginning. It's just a matter, to your point though, she's got to be good, because I think that's going to obviously keep the attention there. If she's just an okay player, which, is totally okay for her development, but that's not what people are here to see. Honestly, people are here to see her dominate, look incredible like she did in college. That's a lot of pressure to just kind of immediately. And that's kind of what makes her so unique, is that every single time there's been this big stage and everybody is watching, and if she doesn't perform here, it'd be so easy to just dismiss everything. She's always stepped up and performed. And I think that's the thing that's made her, but like almost just a legend. Like that's the next level of greatness that you talk about, is when there's an expectation to perform and you still perform and maybe even exceed expectations. That's how you're really something special. And hopefully that's what continues to happen, because with the Golden State franchise coming around here, it'd be awesome to have some sort of local ties to the WNBA and to have hopefully a really growing league close to home. It's been a really long time since anybody in this area, even in the Bay, has been able to watch any sort of WNBA basketball. We got to miss Maya Moore, who was one of the best players who ever played. And it's going to be cool that now we have access, if you so please, to watch the WNBA grow right in your backyard. Get to see the aces, get to see the New York Liberty. You'll get to see Caitlin come through Chase Center next year. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is, as the WNBA is continuing to grow, I don't think that, I think there are other sports that you're willing to, and look, even in all sports, that timeline moves pretty quickly, right? You want people to be good pretty darn fast, but I think specifically with the WNBA, it's not a situation where I guess the basketball purists or the WNBA purists and the Diana Taurasi fans, people like that, you don't want to see Caitlin struggle. Right. I don't think there's anybody that should want to see Caitlin struggle. I don't think the WNBA brand is strong enough to deal with, she got knocked down. Yeah. Let's see what she does next season. This train could, whenever she gets good, the train will come back. Yeah. But people will not hang around to see her because it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, right? And we dealt with this.
And we're
going to be honest here, right? So I'm not going to say who it was, but we're sitting there and, you see people, people that have watched the WNBA, and you watch the WNBA, so I think you're a good person for this exercise. I saw somebody that is very, very into the WNBA, very excited about that, and they're already doing the thing where it was a preseason game. Caitlin Clark did whatever she did. Somebody on the team had a better game, but the graphic the Indiana Fever posted was of Caitlin Clark, and that person said, well, isn't this interesting since so-and-so had a better game, blah, 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 blah. And I sent it to you, and I said, you can't do that. Yeah. You cannot do that.
Right.
The Fever, they got
to pump it.
This isn't the time. Maybe I sound crazy, but that's just not. It's not the time for that.
No, it's not.
You have to. You have one brand to build.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to work on Caitlin Clark before anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because that graphic's going to get shared infinitely more times than whoever did have 18 points in the preseason, because honestly, anybody who's going to that Fever social account is going there to see what did Caitlin do tonight, because I didn't watch the game. I don't care. Even some people are like, I don't care to watch the games. I just want to see if she did well, and then I'll watch the highlights later, which I totally understand. And that's, like you said, that's just the game that they're in. That's the thing that they have to do, is build up this star, get just general attention to this one star, and then it's like a mosquito to a light. Get the people to come, and then they'll understand and appreciate the product, hopefully. And if they don't, that's fine. They can leave. But I think the point is that you're going to get a bigger viewing audience than what you already have. And it is interesting to think about. Yeah, if Caitlin does struggle, it's kind of it's a double-edged sword, because yes, obviously Caitlin needs to be great for people to tune in, but also, if she doesn't do well, doesn't that prove that the league is a legitimately good league? And I guess it kind of depends on how it happens. Right. But, people are talking about the talent level and all this stuff. I think it might actually, not for an entertainment standpoint, but to almost legitimize the product, it would, not that it's not legitimate, but I think it would almost give it a different level of credibility if she does struggle, because it shows, look, this isn't college. Like, you're really not going to be able to just walk in here and do what you do. There's a lot of ballers in this league.
That's fine, but I just don't think anybody
exactly
cares
from an entertainment standpoint,
you know what
it doesn't matter. That's where it's the double edge.
If you're the WNBA, you'd rather
her cook.
Yes,
that's what you want, her cooking all your people.
Question.
It doesn't matter if it's a bad look or not. It doesn't matter if you'll see people say this is whatever. It's best. It's absolutely best for the WNBA if she cooks. But at the same time, if she doesn't cook, I do think that there is a narrative that nobody will care about. But again, it does show that if anything, if your mind is open to it, it should tell you there's a lot of other different options to choose from, not just Caitlin Clark.
Right. That's fair enough. All right. When we return, the Golden State Valkyries and the color that they chose has led us down a very interesting road between the dynamic between the Bay Area and their fan bases and the Kings and Sacramento. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or more, visit us at powercopiers.com.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Well, Bay Area, Simone is gigging back there as the Golden State Valkyries have announced their name and their color scheme.
Yes.
And if you see the color, I think it says a lot of things, Chris. I think it says a lot of things. So they went with the purple, which, as I guess, and I was thinking about this, I don't know, I guess it's not really baby Styles anymore. Now it's toddler Styles.
That's right. Yeah.
She's a toddler now.
Right.
So
Evolving.
toddler Styles and, giving her crowns when you go out to eat and stuff. There's a lot of colors out there, Chris.
There's a lot.
There's red.
Wonderful rainbow.
There's yellow.
Mm-hmm.
There's orange.
Mm-hmm.
There's blue.
Blue and yellow.
There's blue and yellow. There's green.
Yeah.
There's so many other colors.
Yeah.
And the Golden State Valkyries decide to go with the strong. And I think I saw on their Twitter, strong, bold. And they went with purple, Chris. They went with purple. I just thought it was interesting.
It's kind of like a periwinkle.
The initial post is dark.
It's dark. It's dark. It's definitely like
it's dark.
It's a dark purple on the
majestic.
initial logo, for sure.
And they're not stupid.
No.
They are not
They
stupid.
are not stupid.
There is a reason for everything.
Yeah.
And
they got a plan.
What this tells me, and we have the explanation of the name. We'll get into that audio as well. But what this tells me is that they are saying, Sacramento, we want you too.
Mm-hmm.
They already have a built-in fan base in the Bay.
Yeah.
So why, and I know we were talking about a lot of teams they're no longer doing. I know Ethan Strauss got in trouble last week for saying, why don't they just call a team WNBA Warriors or whatever?
Yeah. W Warriors.
So we're not going to that direction.
Warriors.
Early on in the WNBA, there were a lot more teams that were playing off of the other teams. The Sparks had the same colors as the Lakers.
Charlotte Sting.
They're not really doing that anymore because the Kings, Monarchs, they did it too.
Yes,
same
absolutely.
colors.
But that's what this is. It's like it's a nice little hat tip.
It's a hat tip, all right.
Yeah.
It's a hat tip to everybody in Sacramento to say, hey, come on over. The Woman Warriors, that's what a Valkyrie is. The Woman Warriors, in your purple, you can wear King stuff into Chase and already look.
I don't know if they said that.
No, but
if
you
that's the rules. You got me.
already look like you're dressed up for the game.
That's right.
This is completely on purpose. This is on purpose.
You're saying chestnut checkers here?
This is chestnut checkers.
So
we already got the Bay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're gonna have Warrior fans walking around in purple stuff.
Yeah. Bay by title, but Sacramento by color, by heart.
By association.
By association.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that conversation wasn't had and that what you're saying wasn't acknowledged, probably, but I don't know if I want to go full tinfoil hat. And I don't even think what you're saying is like completely crazy or anything like that. I just kind of don't. I think it's more of a coincidence. I will say
coincidence. Wait.
Yeah, you got
a coincidence.
Get him,
Chris. Look at this.
Yes, it's periwinkle.
No, hold on. Look at this, and then where are the Kings? And they look like brother sister. Look at this. Look at that.
Yeah.
And look at that. Come on.
You got me on that one. That looks similar toned for sure. I mean, yeah, obviously it's a shade of purple. Absolutely. I'm sure it calculated slightly into it. I don't think it was like a big, you know, I think you're good for recognizing it. I don't think I would have put 2 and 2 together like that, but I definitely am not saying it's not a thing. I just don't think it was like a driving, motivating factor. I think it's a nice nugget that they can also throw in, but it's
Chris.
What's up?
Put it into our own show lingo. How much of the pie, how much of the blame pie, or how much of the pie would you give the purple being a nod or an association to the Monarchs or trying to gain any of that?
I think it's
need a percentage,
maybe like 5%.
Are you
5
serious,
to 10%,
dude?
Yeah, I just, you know, I think that it's there for sure. I don't
5%.
absolutely think that the driving factor between
you gotta add a 20 on that.
Like,
Exactly.
okay, wait. Okay,
add a 20.
Here's the problem.
No, you
So
add a
what
20.
you guys are trying to imply also is that if these ladies were wearing green and yellow or anything like that, people in Sacramento wouldn't support them. Just because of the. But that's the assumption is that they did this because.
No, but I'm saying making it purple. I'm saying making it purple. All but it makes it even harder for Sacramento to not.
Oh no, it makes it. I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? They could have did an ode to the A's. A's leaving. Anybody? I mean, you got enough teams leaving, so you could do an ode to about any of the 4 teams that have left.
I mean, I think. You know, I think that it's something. I just don't think it's everything. I think it's a nice help, but I just don't think it's the sole reason why they did it.
916 says it's a troll job by Golden State. And I'm with you there too from the 916.
But like the gear's not even purple.
But okay, but that's what's weird to me, right?
Like again, it's like initial periwinkle.
The initial post and what is their profile logo.
Yeah.
That one is not
the
now.
Background is a purple.
And now they're pushing the Perry. Now they're pushing Perry.
Pushing Perry.
P now.
Pushing P now. Okay.
916 says, bruh, if SF starts sliding the beam,
it's over. At that point.
You guys know I was out there last week and they have a beam over by Coit Tower.
Right.
That's what I heard. Yeah. What is going on?
What is happening?
This is getting really upsetting.
It's just, you know.
I need calls.
It's
Call
sad.
me.
It's really sad.
Join our set. Okay, this is from the senior vice president of marketing, and she gives a breakdown of the name, not necessarily the color. And by the way, I looked it up. Valkyrie and purple and periwinkle. There's no connection there.
There's no connection?
No.
Okay.
There's no connection. Not that I saw.
Yeah.
All right, here she is.
And then for the team name, we looked at a variety of different options. We landed in sort of like the Warriors inspired space. So for anybody who doesn't know, a Valkyrie is a woman warrior, right? Mm-hmm. This is a host of women warriors who are responsible for granting an honorable afterlife for the bravest warriors.
See, so if they were thinking about the Kings at all, you would not mention at all. This is actually the entire team identity is based off of the Warriors.
Yeah, they're gonna not say the loud part or the quiet part.
Look
out loud.
at Chris. The name.
Yeah.
Warriors.
Yeah.
The color. Kings. So now you're stuck. You're both stuck. It's money. It's money.
So a Laker fan,
we're arguing purple and periwinkle.
Yeah.
But really the color
purple.
here is green. It's about the green.
I hate you.
It's about the green. And now they're stuck. And now they're stuck. 916 is a different 916. And here's the other part of this. Making it purple blocks future. This is what we were talking about during the crossover with Jason Ross and Carmichael Dave. Making it purple blocks future WNBA Sacramento color scheme. So now you get the Monarchs back. They got to be blue and yellow?
No. Okay. First off, I could already.
We're taking there.
First off, the Monarchs probably are cooked at this point by the fact that they have a Bay Area team. But if the Monarchs were to come back, they could still be purple.
Okay, no, and that's what you and Frankie were saying.
No, the Aces changed their jersey colors this year. Like now they went from black and gold to now they're black and silver. I just mean it can
So you're saying.
And Frankie was even like they're going to be blue and yellow in 5 years anyway.
No, but hold on now. You and Frankie said that both you could have two purple teams.
Yes, you could.
No, you can't.
Yes, you could. Lakers and Kings, both purple.
That's 6 hours depending on who's driving.
It's the same,
not an hour and a half
division.
But that's yellow and purple.
Yeah, I know. I get you from a branding perspective, and like, you would want your own color identity, but I mean, we'll probably get purple if the Monarchs come, but I think that's the problem.
Give me 2 purples.
I think that's the problem.
All right, coming up next, we're continuing the conversation. We
it.
continue to convince Chris that they're playing chess, not checkers out here. And
they're light years ahead? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I didn't say that.
Come on,
I didn't say that.
Come on. Cold-blooded.
Is there another situation in sports as unique as the relationship between Sacramento and the Bay Area? We'll explain when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday is looking bright and sunny. Expect a pretty nice day today. It runs a little bit warmer, expecting highs to peak in the lower 90s with light west winds and overnight lows drop back to the 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now. It's Dodge season at Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and that means it's a season to save and save big on Dodge. Just listen to this. Right now, you can get a 23 Dodge Charger SXT for only $19,999. Just $19,999. What? A new Dodge Charger for under $20K. That's unheard of. That's almost $17,000 in net savings off MSRP. Just do the math, friends, because that adds up to a whole lot of savings. So you better hurry before they're gone.
More to find at this offer. MSRP $39,620. Sales price $28,419. Net price $19,999 after $8,420 in rebates. See dealer for details. Offer ends 5/31/24.
It's Dodge season here, and it's a season to save. And it's going on right now at Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, right off 99 in Kettleman, where we're open till 9 every night and Sundays after church.
Prices are better at the Low Price Center. Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Visit us at LodiCDJR.com.
Yeah!
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Will you or will you not support the Golden State Monarchs? I mean the Golden State Valkyries. It's that simple. Will you support? I'm here, Chris. I'm on social media. People in Sacramento are torn. They got your colors. They took your whole swag.
They took my whole flow, bar for bar.
Bar for bar. Soulja Boy is somewhere. We should get Soulja Boy on the show today.
No, we should.
Okay.
Nothing.
Soulja, how does it feel when people take your flow? Okay, just have the dump button ready.
That guy is insane. Soulja Boy is one of one.
Okay, so this whole thing, and obviously me grew up in the Bay. Now I'm out here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
This whole thing is
your
really
team.
confusing, and I really need a lot of help. Okay, 916-339-1140. All guessing callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Is there any other sports fan situation similar to the, honestly, I'll say unique, I could also say bizarre dynamic between Sacramento and the Bay Area? So I have this written down. Make sure I don't miss anything, Chris. All right. So Sacramento is about an hour and a half away from the Bay Area.
Yep.
Okay. So you have the Kings-Warriors dynamic, which is the cleanest one.
Mm-hmm.
You have an NBA team. You have an NBA team. Whether it's a rivalry or not the day for that conversation, right? We play each other. Cool. Right. This is where it gets sticky.
Yeah, it gets real.
So Kings fans don't particularly like the Bay Area because of the Warriors aspect.
Right.
But then you don't have a baseball team or a football team. So a lot of you like Bay Area teams. You're Kings Giants, you're Kings A's, you're Kings Niners. I know they left too, but you're Kings Raiders. So you have that connection where sometimes you got to go to the Bay to see your team.
You got to be one of them.
And you're friends with people that are Warriors and Niners fans, whatever the case is.
Sure.
So you have that going on. Okay. Now you add this new layer to the onion where you were WNBA champions, the Monarchs.
Yes.
That team is now gone.
Right.
And that team was purple.
Yep.
It was purple.
They were.
Very similar to your beloved Sacramento Kings.
Yep.
So now they're gone. And the Bay Area decides, hey,
here's a life raft.
We want in on this.
Mm-hmm.
So now they get a team, the Golden State Valkyries, and out of all the colors in the rainbow.
Yep. Beautiful colors.
What is it, Simone? We can look it up. The Crayola, the monster box, when they got 200 crayons.
I remember that.
All the colors.
Yeah.
And they picked purple.
Huh.
They picked purple.
Yeah.
So now you add another layer where Kings fans that are Kings and Niners, but my WNBA team's in the Bay, but I like this team, but the Raiders left, and now the A's, they're in Sacramento. So now the Bay
they're going
Area,
to Vegas.
but they're going to Vegas.
Might go to Salt Lake City.
So now Oakland, they kind of don't like Sacramento either. What is happening?
That's true. I didn't even think about that last layer of it.
It's a mess.
On there. It's an absolute mess. And for that reason, as we did Shark Tank yesterday, I don't think there is, because when you present the question on face value, it's like, well, yeah, Oakland and San Francisco, that becomes a weird mess, but it's not as intertwined and complicated as what you just laid out. I think we just learned Philly and New York have some proximity, but also some crossover, but also to the point, not all of the interweavings that you just listed, I don't think so. Maybe like Seattle, Portland, but I don't think there's necessarily the right amount of sports teams there to really showcase it. I don't think so. It feels unique. I don't think that there's another situation where it just completely takes over the way, and because it's not like it's team to team. It's not like it's, Clippers, Lakers, where it's, different fan bases, but same city.
Right.
We're talking completely different cities here, different fan bases, but as you said, but also same fan bases at the same time. And, I guess the simple answer is it's sports. It's not that serious. It's not like I really plant my flag and say, I will not let San Francisco 49er fans in my house or anything like that. And that's probably the easy answer, but it's ridiculous. Like, it's insane. And, you're not wrong. Like, this does present a pretty interesting dilemma for those that care. Like, this WNBA team is probably the best. I don't think the Monarchs are coming back. I just don't. I think everything that the league has done here recently has definitely shown that there's a laundry list of teams or cities that they want to add. And I've heard Sacramento's name thrown in once, and that was a couple years ago as like an extra. Oh yeah, and Sacramento as well. So I just don't think it's at the top of the list. I feel like at the end of the day, it's the closest venue. I think people they got the purple. It's enough things to make people say, sign me up, I guess, because it's not perfect. It's not but it's the best we got, and I think I think you can't miss what's going on in the WNBA just because of these city rivalries, for sure.
Well, we're here on the Sack Chat, and we see you on the text line as well. And we can't read it. We can't read it. But yeah,
the text line's on fire.
The 916. I'll put it to you like this: the 916 does not like the Bay Area.
Does not at all.
That's the easiest way we can put it. Jess Escoto on the Sack Chat.
It's not going to be fun to drive over there.
Is saying go Aces. So you'd rather.
Interesting.
And look, 916-339-1140. Are you going to support the Golden State Valkyries, or are you just going to pick a random team? Are you going to act, people in Hawaii?
No, for sure.
You just can pick whoever you want because you don't have any of your own pro teams. Are you just going to pick a random team?
It might not be a bad move,
And some people do that in Sacramento anyway. Because, I mean, if you don't have any feelings for the Bay, a lot of people feel like, what is the statute of distance? Mm-hmm. Hey, I live, and that's just Sacramento proper. Yeah. If you're any further up and you're 2 hours out, why does it still count? What is the distance where it's, oh, well, the Niners are the closest team to me, so I guess I'll be a Niners fan? Or when the Raiders were in Oakland.
Do you mean like south, I guess? You mean like distance south, or do you mean
distance? Yes. So if the Niners are 2 hours away, why should this person have to root for? Is that their quote unquote home team?
Right.
And I think that adds to this as well. Yeah. Sacramento is that perfect distance to where it's, I mean, you can be.
You could be different if you wanted to be, but yeah. And I would say Stockton's probably still within the South for the Niners. Like this Fresno, like I guess maybe we can ask our boss. I don't know what is Fresno
he said when he was doing Fresno radio, they just pick. You just pick north or south. You're either Giants or Dodgers. And you know what this is? And I don't mind. I don't care. You know what this is? It's who's good. Who's good when you're young? When you're in Sacramento,
sure.
The Niners are good.
Yeah.
When you're growing up, you're a kid. If your parents don't have anyone, I'll just be a Niners fan.
Yeah.
Right? Or the Raiders were kind of good, and early 2000s, I'll just be a Raiders fan.
I think I'm in a wait and see at the moment. I mean, I'll see who they get. I mean, to your point, maybe if they're good, I'll
Paige Becker's already tweeted. Exactly. She loves the colors.
Paige is coming, I'll be
and you
there.
know what that means?
Azzy Fudd, I know she's a Steph girl, like a Curry brand athlete. I'll definitely hop over if Azzy Fudd's there. But if they, I don't know what the WNBA expansion draft is going to look like, but it definitely might be in your best interest to kind of use the chase, the Valkyrie, like how Sacramento is going to use the A's for a couple of years if they're going to be a bad expansion franchise like most are. So either way, it's going to be great.
Coming up next, some more on the Golden State Valkyrie, and you have Caitlin Clark starting up today. And yes, we will spend so much time on the NBA draft and the NBA Combine and you have Keith Smith coming out with the Kings financials. You're not going to want to miss that. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants. Did you know we love country music? Our Bennett's team will be setting up our Country in the Park kitchen to serve all country music fans. We will be grilling and preparing your favorite foods from Bennett's. Giant cheeseburgers, chicken or mushroom Caesar salads, and of course, our legendary barbecued ribs and fried chicken. Did I mention crispy hot French fries? And most of our meals are gluten-free friendly. We will have a covered eating pavilion, so catch a bite, enjoy a bit of shade, and of course, all the great country music with Bennett's. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com.
Winter's gone, so there's no excuses for missing out on Sacramento's premier country festival, Country in the Park. It's this Friday and Saturday. Don't miss your chance to see
Brandon Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jake Owen, Walker Hayes, Brian Kelly, Drew Baldridge, Brian Martin, Michael Ray,
Ingrid Andress, Priscilla Block,
Chase Matthew.
Tickets are only $46 per day. Buy your tickets now at CITPfest.com. That's CITPfest.com. Or take your chances at the gate. Brought to you by Junior Restaurant and Lounge, Greenwich Academy, and Fieldhouse American Sports Pub.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I gotta change the oil in my car.
Right now, get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $34.99.
Get in zone.
And what do I do with my old oil?
We can recycle your used oil for free.
Get in zone,
And I might need some help.
No problem. We have helpful how-tos at AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Everyone knows that a group of fish is called a school, but did you know a group of giraffes is called a tower? Or how about a murder of crows, a quiver of cobras, a shadow of jaguars, a shiver of sharks, or a zeal of zebras? Wild, huh? So what do you call a group of Bell Brothers plumbers? They don't fit into any of the traditional plumber stereotypes. They're clean and well-dressed. They're on time and courteous. They're well-trained and friendly. They're exactly the kind of people you'd be comfortable and confident to invite into your home. That's why we proudly call them our family of plumbers. If you need a drain cleared or any other plumbing service, we'll send one of the family right over to help you out. Call Bell Brothers at 916-444-1234, or you can find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
double up on a location until you feel like you've spread enough across the map. And I think they're getting there. I mean, they just announced the Toronto expansion franchise, but they still have a couple places in the middle of the country that haven't really been touched yet. And then there's still big cities like Miami doesn't have a team. Philadelphia doesn't have a team. Those two locations make a ton of sense. I think you and I have both seen on our social feeds talk about Portland having interest in a team. Obviously there's the Seattle franchise, so maybe there's an argument there, but I just think that we're far away from the Monarchs coming back. I would think at this point we would probably hear some rumblings, and let's not forget that Vivek is a little bit tied up right now with the whole A's situation. And so, you can only juggle so many things in the air at once.
I'm seeing here from just people all over social media. One, they're not saying periwinkle. They're saying it's lavender.
Sure. I like lavender's great.
Cool.
Lavender's wonderful.
No
problem with that.
Second thing I'm seeing is it weird if you're going to keep the name Golden State to not have any gold?
Very interesting. Very good point.
It's kind of weird.
It is. It is weird. Because why not just be San Francisco?
Right.
Why be Golden State? Like, why did you have to tie yourself? It's the branding. It's the branding. That's exactly why. Because the Golden State branding is really strong. But can't we all argue that it doesn't make? I mean, you can't call yourself the California Warriors when there's 5 teams in California. That's always bothered me. I've never understood why. And why would you make a new franchise called Golden State when, again, there's still some franchises here.
They didn't want to do SF.
Gross.
Because they didn't want to freeze out.
They didn't want to freeze out Oakland either.
Or
that's
Oakland.
what it is, because they're practicing in Oakland still.
Yeah.
But the games are going to be played. The whole operation is in Oakland. So this is again a situation where Oakland's doing all the work. Like, their offices the building they play in is in San Francisco, and we know the politics behind why that's the case. So they're only doing Golden State because they want to have the branding of it. And of course it is a good brand, but also you could argue they still don't want to go by Oakland or, I don't know why they wouldn't want to go by San Francisco, but I guess it might be just to, like you said, I mean, you're trying to include you're trying to include Oakland, you're trying to include Sacramento in that. And at least, if Sacramento people can overlook the Golden State title, which is heavy. That's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Like, that should not be glossed over. The Golden State title, you might as well be the Warriors. I mean, if you're going to be Golden State, it's like, that's the thing that I'm going to think about as a Kings fan. And I'm not going to say, I'm a Golden State fan. No, Valkyrie. Like, that's not happening.
This is like I said, the most confusing dynamic.
It's so
you're going to be walking around with De'Aaron Fox Curry's on and a Golden State Valkyrie jersey.
This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
Yes, couldn't say
That's
it better.
purple.
Yeah. It's wild. It's wild. Yeah. I mean, the gear that's, I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting. And then, I mean, can you, from the Warriors side, I'm actually it is interesting because now if you're going to wear Valkyrie gear at a Warriors game, you're sticking out.
Yeah.
You're looking like a Kings fan, which I guess maybe is what you were maybe listing earlier.
Just, so funny.
Uh-oh,
I might have,
Chris.
So
stepped into my
funny.
own trap there.
So funny to me.
It's definitely interesting, and I feel like they're going to end up doing. Are they gonna come to Sacramento at all and promote this? I wonder if it's going to be, how far is their marketing going to reach? Because that'll tell you that's going to tell you the real answer. If they really did this to try and rope in Sacramento folks, you'll see some marketing out here. And so far, I haven't seen any. I know the WNBA has a deal with Dick's Sporting Goods, which they'll sell the local team's merch there. So maybe that's coming on the way. But are they going to be doing any Golden One Center tours or anything like that?
I'm sure they will.
I hope they will. I really hope they will. Because it would be a great showcase for Sacramento to potentially show out. But it's if they're going to take the colors, you might as well. I mean, at this point, they might as well lean into it. That's all. Like you might as well embrace it and just say what it is. If that even is what it is, you might as well just come out and say it. I think you would probably it would probably upset the Warrior fan base, but I don't think they really even care. If anything, I think it just brings in the Sacramento fan base. If you acknowledge, I think by not acknowledging it, actually, you're doing yourself from a marketing standpoint a disservice.
Well, and again, we know
to say like Northern California,
Yeah, so
we just wanted to represent all of Northern California basketball.
Jillian Adge, who's associated with the Kings Herald and is really just the top of the list when it comes to all things Kings Twitter. And Monarchs. She's saying, or she responded back to somebody that responded to my initial post about the colors. And she said they went with Monarchs colors, not Kings. And they said when first announced, they were hoping to bring Monarchs fans to the Bay like we did with them here all those years ago. So maybe they haven't really tried to hide it. And maybe we just
it might have been missed in the pro. I mean, who also knows when
and she's doing deeper dives than we are on
exactly.
this stuff.
Yeah. So, again, that'll be all in the future, and that'll tell us a lot about what their plans are, because there is still a chance, I just kind of hinted at it, but they could do preseason games in Sacramento. They can maybe do a stray game, the same way that the Stockton Kings will come to Sacramento and play a game at Golden One Center. I don't see why one game a year or once every couple years or whatever, they couldn't stop at Golden One Center and just try and expand the brand. I don't even think it would necessarily, have to be something that's, malicious or hidden or anything. I think it's just more branding it as Northern California's team, if anything. That would be the route that I would go, but we'll see, because I do tend to lean more towards our guy Frankie. And I just think at some point they're going to say, why don't we just lean into, the brand that's already here? And why don't they just, I don't think they'll be blue and yellow, but maybe some form of gold and maybe it'll be reversed. Maybe it'll be gold and blue instead of blue and gold. But I think unless they're going to lean into the marketing of we're trying to get Sacramento people, and this was an intentional move, I don't know how much people here will even notice.
Yeah. In the words, it's from the 707, in the words of one wise man, I really hope the whole world can see what's going on out here.
Right here.
Because it's getting ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious. Like I said, they already know they have people in the Bay, so why not try to cast that net even larger? And we'll see how it works. And Paige Becker's already saying she loves the colorway. That's what happens, because if this team is good,
that will be the great thing about having the only advantage of it being San Francisco Bay Area is maybe people will it'll be a destination.
Yeah.
We have had that conversation a couple times. Maybe people will say, yes, I want to go be the face of the San Francisco or the Golden State team.
The Purple State Valkyries. All right. When we return, they're talking about Bronny James changing the landscape in the G League. The G League. The league. What are we talking about? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the
triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Welcome to the May Springtime Sales Event at Kia of Vacaville, where we're celebrating the arrival of a new season with unbeatable lease options on our 2024 lineup. As May blossoms with possibilities, it's the perfect time to immerse yourself in the exhilarating world of Kia, highlighted by the luxurious and versatile Kia Telluride. Throughout the May Springtime Sales Event, Kia of Vacaville is thrilled to showcase our top models with irresistible lease offers. Experience the thrill of driving the all-new Kia Sportage, seamlessly blending captivating design with dynamic performance. Dive into the impressive fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel designed to extend your adventures. Embrace the essence of spring with our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, specifically tailored for those who prioritize efficiency without compromising on style. With the EV9 in stock, Kia of Vacaville stands as your premier destination for electric excitement. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's Sacktown Sports 49ers insider Emil Fergoso here to tell you about the Sacramento Autograph Expo Trade Night hosted by True Sports Cards. Happening at the Fairgrounds in Roseville. Come hang out with fellow hobby enthusiasts as we sell and trade trading cards under the stars at Attaway Pavilion. Trade Night is completely free, happening Saturday, May 18th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. After an action-packed day of meeting your favorite athletes, stick around for a bit. So come on down to Trade Night at the Fairgrounds in Roseville. Located at 700 Event Center Drive, Saturday, May 18th from 6 to 9 p.m. For more information, visit sacksportscardexpo.com or hit up Trade Night host Candlestick Sports Cards on Instagram. See you there.
Sunrise Marketplace invites you to the region's best backyard hangout on May 18th, featuring craft breweries, home brewers, food trucks, games, live music, and more. Use discount code BREW24 for $5 off general admission tickets now at shopsmp.com and help support Citrus Heights Heart and Citrus Heights Rotary.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Great stuff in the first hour. Talking all things Golden State Valkyries with their purple color scheme. Go check that out if you're just now joining us. Thank you for joining us. Stiles and Watkins taking up to 2 p.m. Breaking down all things Valkyries and how that connects to the Monarchs and the color scheme. Do you like it? Will you support them? You can go check that out on YouTube. Go check that out on SacktownSports.com on the Sacktown Sports app. But it is time to get into some prospect talk, NBA draft talk. We know that's what you want. And we're here to give you what you want. And I think, Chris, the most interesting part of when it gets to draft time, especially in a draft like this year's draft where it seems like nobody wants to pick. Every time you go on social media, it's so-and-so is trying to get rid of their pick or so-and-so wants a win now player, which they just don't seem, people don't think there are a lot of those players in the draft, that it does directly connect so much to the NBA offseason and free agency and trade. So as much as it's about the draft, it's also not about the draft. It's about how the draft connects to everything else.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It can tell you a lot about directions teams are going and you know, things like that. I mean, if the Kings end up taking a guard who's a scoring guard or something like that, it might tell you a little insight into how they feel the Malik Monk negotiation might go. It definitely ties into a lot of things. And then there's ramifications of, okay, they ended up taking this guy. And so that signifies, especially with the team like Atlanta, like, okay, they're probably going to look to trade one of Trae Young or DeJounte like we talked about yesterday. So yeah, the draft kind of gets everything started when it comes to narratives. And it's also the first time people can start to make trades. And so it's kind of the first time you can really start to shape your team into, to your point, what it's going to look like during the regular season. It's just kind of an initial kickoff period for that.
All right, let's hear from Woj. And we played this before the show. And honestly, I've never heard anything like this. And I think it's pretty ridiculous on a day where we're talking about real movers and shakers like Caitlin Clark and how she's raising ticket prices and things like this. Woj said this about Bronny James, and I can't see it happening, but maybe I'm way off.
Yeah, Bronny James is going to have an impact for organizations, not just on the basketball side, but potentially on the business side. He's almost assuredly going to start in the G League. He will pack G League arenas, merchandising, all of those make him an attractive player, whether it's late first round or second round. So I think certainly his opportunity to play in the NBA is there.
Am I taking crazy pills here, Chris? I don't. First of all, I was reading and somebody responded and said Bronny James didn't even pack out USC.
No, he did not.
The arena at USC when he was playing there all season long.
And LeBron was there sitting courtside.
And LeBron was there. So I'm not understanding, again, the gravity, the Caitlin Clark-ness, the Wembanyama, and he's a late first round, second round guy. This is not a hater type of conversation, but the idea, and I know so let's say he goes to Stockton. Okay, maybe let's try to find the other side of this. He's in Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that there would be more people than normally at the Stockton Kings games. But the idea, first of all, when it comes to the ticket prices and the G League, I just don't know what teams are hurting so much that, are really depending on their G League.
We need our G League to push us some money too.
Yeah.
Nobody is that down bad.
Nobody
And
should
if you
be.
are, then yeah, you've got bigger issues
Then
than your
Bronny
G
James
League.
ain't going to help you.
Right. Yeah.
So I've never, in all my years of I've never heard anyone say he's going to have the G League just popping.
Yeah, it's going to be jumping. The only person who even comes remotely close, and this is going to lead into my bigger point, is like Amani Bates. And even he didn't drive. And I understand, like, he's not LeBron James's son, but, in a weird way, it's like, and it's crazy. You're right. It's insane that Woj is the one saying this because it sounds like a delusional. I mean, I was going to say this almost sounds like LeVar Ball. It sounds like if LeVar Ball would have said this about LiAngelo, we would have said, this fool's crazy. This is, again, this guy just going off about his sons being the greatest and not having any sort of grip to reality of nobody really cares. And I think it's the same thing with this, where clearly this is clutch. I don't know who you want to pin it on. It could be Rich Paul, who we know. Sam Amick told said on this radio station that Rich Paul is in contact with these reporters, and we'll talk about his clients and things like that. Maybe this could be just fed information. But it's just a weird thing to come out because there's no way. There's no justification for saying this. There's no precedent to this. And the fact that Bronny couldn't even sell out his college stadium, to me, says exactly that he's not going to have any sort of, I mean, like you said, I'm sure there's a couple people who might show up. I don't know necessarily if that's driving you to buy a ticket. To me, that's something where if somebody has tickets, I'll say, okay, yeah, I can go watch Bronny, but I don't think I'm actively going to seek out, Bronny's in town. We have to go make sure we see that. That's just not going to happen.
People like greatness, and people like a spectacle, and people like seeing things that they haven't typically seen. Bronny James doesn't check any of those boxes.
Yep.
This is some idea that Bronny having a really big TikTok following and Instagram following is going to translate to people wanting to watch him play basketball. And I don't think that's the case. I just don't think that's the case.
Yeah. No, not at all. I mean, because at the end of the day, he's got to be good. Like, there has to be something on the floor that's bringing them there, or that's keeping them there. Maybe Bronny's star will bring them there, but once they see, I spent all this money, I took this time, and he scored 8 points. He scored 12 points or whatever. He scored 15, 20 points in a G League game. Like, what is it? We see guys go crazy all the time.
We see guys go crazy all the time. So now you're talking about when you look at some of the guys, right? I know a big one when they were moving him back and forth is Moody and Kuminga.
Sure.
Right. When I was in the Bay, they would just put up crazy numbers in the G League. And I know there was one, was it Colby Jones or somebody put up ridiculous numbers in the G League. So, and he can't even get substantial time on the Kings. So Bronny is going to have to go down there and absolutely cook. I just don't see, I don't care who your daddy is. I don't see people going to watch average basketball against G Leaguers.
No, exactly.
What are we talking about?
Because, and honestly, to your first point too, of if revenue from a G League was an actual thing that people cared about, like Jimmer Fredette would have been in the G League for years, because he would be he's somebody who would probably play like Caitlin Clark, but he'd be like the Caitlin Clark of G League. And to your point, I don't see Bronny doing that. Like, I don't see Bronny being anything crazy, being a spectacle, being something that is can't miss. And, I'm not even saying he's going to be bad, but I just don't think there's going to be anything special about the way he does it. Like, it's just if you like G League basketball, you're gonna like to go regardless of whether Bronny's there or not. Like, I just don't see how I whatever. Again, I think that this is all just them trying to build up Bronny to anybody. And it just takes one team who's not the Lakers to draft him. And I think that's all that we're going to see here. We're watching they're in the scouting combine right now. He's playing live. Like, I just think for the next, month and a half, 2 months, it's going to be them just trying to make it sound like Bronny is a legitimate player or a legitimate prospect. And I think the closer and closer we get to the draft, I think it's going to come out that nobody has any real interest.
Yeah, to me, this isn't about, And and look, Bronny's dealt with a lot of hate, right? People say, hey, well, you look who your dad is, and he got to grow up like this or that. And this isn't that for me at all. I hope Bronny balls out. I have no feelings on Bronny James. It's just crazy to me to go in the direction of merchandising in G League. I've just never heard something
insane.
Like that.
It's insane. I mean, nobody can. I mean, not even disrespectful to the G League, but to your point, like, it's just not. Nobody's factoring that into their financials for the season. Nobody is saying the G League is losing us so much money. We have to figure. Maybe they are, but I don't believe that there's any way the league would have all 30 teams have a G League team if it wasn't a profitable thing for most of them.
And we'll try to get Woj here on the show one of these days. But my question, what am I supposed to do with that information, Woj?
Right.
What
is the public supposed to do? Yeah,
exactly. Woj, okay. Everything you just said, does that how much higher should he actually go then?
Right.
What are we talking about? Should he go at 13 to the Kings now? Because people are gonna buy Bronny James Jr. Stockton Kings jerseys?
Honestly, this is crazy because he might be a first-round pick, but I think Zach Edey has more G League pull than Bronny does.
Yeah.
I would much rather again, that's a spectacle. That's something where if I go see a 7'3", 7'4" dude play, I can't just go watch that. Taco Fall was the same thing when he was in the G League. To me, that's a lot more of something where I'll get bang for my buck going to the game than Bronny James. That's just all name value. And maybe I'm being a little too critical of Bronny here, but I just don't think that there's anything there that tells me that he's going to, because honestly, how much of the NIL deals and all that, it's all just the fact that he's LeBron James's son.
Right.
I think once
you can't get paid to play, so it ain't about
everybody
play.
Sees with their eyes, there's just not really much exciting here. I just think that it's all going to fall to the wayside. I think a lot of people just still haven't seen Bronny play.
It's not about whether or not Bronny's going to be good or not. It's just about what they're talking about. I personally have never heard of. Here's my question. Let's say Bronny goes 13, right, to the Kings.
Sure.
Would the Stockton Arena be sold out every night?
No, it wouldn't. You think it would?
I don't know. I don't. Now Woj is in my head now. I think it would be sold out more often, but I don't know how many times. And I think it would all be at the beginning.
I think it would.
To be fair, I think it would all. I think it's not Caitlin Clark, but it is in that you would need to bring. Your name is only going to get you so far. I think Caitlin Clark's name is going to get her much further than Bronny. But fine, the first game sellout, right? Game 2, game 3, game 7, game 10. Bronny is he coming off Woj said he's gonna start. He's putting up a stat line of, let's say he gets 10, 5 and 5.
I'll follow it, but I don't think I just don't get what the allure would be. I really don't know what would you be going to the game hoping to see? Because I think the whole point of bringing Bronny over, Bronny, is that it gives you at least the illusion of thought that Bron could potentially come with him at some point. Doesn't necessarily have to be right then, right there. So if you're just getting hyped about Bronny, the prospect himself, I don't know if that was ever supposed to be part of the plan.
And where does this line start or stop? Because if Bronny has to go to the G League, is LeBron going to say, hey, pull him up? When is he going to play in the NBA? Because that was all. LeBron doesn't just want to be in the same organization, I don't think. They want to be on the court together.
Yeah.
So when are they going to be on the court together?
I don't know, but I'm sure he'll make it happen. I'm sure they'll coordinate a date and it'll be all laid out perfectly.
The decision.
Yeah.
And then the combination.
I would be shocked if it's not the Lakers. I don't think anybody's going to even have him on their draft boards. I think he's an undrafted free agent, which is fine. I just don't think anyone's going to anyone except for the Lakers are going to take a second-round pick on him.
Continue with the conversation. When we return, LeBron was in Cleveland yesterday with 3 different liquids. Can you guess what those beverages were? And Stephen A. Smith says not only is LeBron trying to make J.J. Redick his coach, but there's another team that might be in play to get Bronny and make another super team in Texas. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown!
Let's go! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Brian Windhorst says that several NBA executives were curious about LeBron's activities after his visit to Cleveland last night. This is Windhorst. I will say this. The first thing I thought of was this moment 10 years ago where LeBron showed up to a game in Cleveland while he was a player for the Miami Heat to honor Zydrunas Ilgauskas, his jersey retirement, his longtime teammate, and he got a private plane, flew from Chicago over to Cleveland on an off night. Pat Riley was not happy, and a few months later, he signed with the Cavs. He's extremely strategic, and I wish I could tell you I knew exactly what he's doing. I don't pretend to know, but he's got to be up to something. Well, look, they're saying that Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs lose. Donovan Mitchell, Chris, I don't know what's going on, man. You got Achilles going off everywhere and a lot of calf issues. Donovan Mitchell misses the game out of nowhere yesterday with the calf issue, and the Celtics kind of struggled with the playing down to their competition and had a tough go against the Cavs, but eventually won because the Celtics are just much better than the Cavs, especially when they're missing Donovan Mitchell. So now that series is all but over. But I don't really know what the Cleveland connection would be with LeBron. They got some guys, right? Mobley, Jared Allen. If Donovan Mitchell stays, they got Strus. They have. We can get D-Wade. You could get Garland, guys like that. Cavs fans want Garland gone because he's been pretty terrible during this series. Yeah, I'm not really sure out of all the teams that we've done this exercise with for LeBron throughout the seasons, and specifically even this season. I don't know why. I think this could be even outside of basketball, some type of other business that LeBron has going on. I know there was some smoke last season with LeBron and the Cavs because anytime a team is good, it's just, all right, is LeBron going to go to them now? But I don't get it.
I get it. I read Windhorst's book, Return of the King, which is about LeBron coming back to Cleveland, and he does spend pretty much like a full chapter on that Zydrunas Ilgauskas retirement ceremony, and essentially it was the first time LeBron had came back to Cleveland since the decision, and he was surprised by the fact that nobody seemed to be mad at him. And so that kind of opened his eyes to, oh, I could return, and then it kind of became a snowball effect. Opportunity presented itself. He took it. I could maybe see a similar thought process here. If he sits courtside, he wants to see, like, are people still excited about him in Cleveland? Have they moved on from him? I didn't hear if they gave him a standing ovation.
They cheer. I think they gave him something. Yeah.
I would imagine. I've learned with LeBron that nothing is on accident. I just feel like everything he does is calculated and has a reason, even if it is just like leverage as a reason and leverage, if you will. Right. I don't know if he's going to go to Cleveland. I think some aspects of it make sense, but I think that more of this might just be, I could enter free agency if I wanted to, LA. So, if there's any thought about I'm going to take cheap or anything like that, I've got other options, I think is how I would maybe read too much into it. But, besides that, I do think most of it is just he's home. He's, back home. He had Savannah next to him. So clearly, like you said, it might've been something off the floor where it's family oriented and brought the whole family out with him. I'd be surprised if this led to something, but I'm not going to say it's nothing.
Yeah.
I just think he's too calculated.
Right. And, maybe it's
especially courtside.
Well, maybe
you could have gotten a box.
Right. But maybe it's Cleveland. Hey, we drafted LeBron. We'll draft your son too. I don't know.
That could happen too. No, absolutely. Like, we don't know what happened in the tunnels, right? Like it could be a situation where, maybe LeBron did, or LeBron's people had a conversation with Cavs people and because, nothing can be official on the record or anything like that. And maybe there was a conversation of, hey, like, there is we know Bronny went to college and high school in LA, but, he's still from Cleveland or Akron, Ohio. Like, I think he's probably from Cleveland or was born in Cleveland. Would you maybe be interested in a double homecoming, right. If we draft Bronny in the second round, does that open the door of possibility? I wouldn't be surprised if that conversation was had because it makes a lot of sense. I mean, we've seen Bronny the other day posted a picture of him in his Ohio State uniform. I think it was for Mother's Day or something like that. But again, I don't know if anything with those guys. I mean, they're almost like the NBA Kardashians, where it just feels like they've been in the spotlight too long to not understand when you do something, people are going to read a ton into it.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. All right, let's hear from Stephen A. Smith, who had some things to say about another team getting into the mix, and this could be a problem.
Let me tell you what else I've been hearing. LeBron James is trying to get the Los Angeles Lakers to draft Bronny James with a second-round pick. He'd also like for J.J. Redick to be his next head coach. I'm just telling you what I've heard. Now, that doesn't mean the Lakers want J.J. Redick. It doesn't mean they don't. They haven't made a finite decision about anybody yet, but LeBron has. That's the guy he wants. But here's a news flash, what I've also heard. Bronny James might not make it to the Lakers' second-round pick because if a team like the Dallas Mavericks could position themselves to get him in the second round, they'll take him. Because LeBron said he wants to go where his son goes. And if you're the Dallas Mavericks and you got Kyrie and you got Luka and LeBron James is willing to come to Big D, that might be the first time something's more popular than the Cowboys.
Wow.
Sorry about that.
R.I.P. all headphone
I knew
users.
it was coming. I knew it was coming.
I can't take him serious with that tone. I can't, how am I supposed to take him serious when he talks like that?
Which one?
Molly.
Which one?
The LeBron James coming to the Dallas Mavericks.
He's on his Knicks hype right now.
Come on. Also, that's way too specific. I don't know if somebody in Dallas right now is really upset because Stephen A just revealed that he was their source, because that is way too specific. That's also trust your source. I don't know how much I trust Stephen A because I don't.
He hasn't been wrong.
I just wouldn't imagine if any information, if you're going to tell Stephen A, that information is going to get public very soon on one of his 17 podcasts. He's probably going to slip and say it. So, sure. I mean, again, I guess maybe at some point we'll just hear so many of these reports that I'll have to believe it, but I don't believe it. I just don't believe that people, you know what? Maybe we talked about how the draft quality people don't seem to think that the quality of this draft is very high. Maybe it's symbolic of that. Maybe it is just hey, we don't think any of these guys are any good. So what's the harm in taking, at least he's LeBron James Jr. and we missed on literally taking LeBron James Jr.
Yeah,
that's the only part to me that I can justify it with, because 5 points a game at USC, a USC team that was not very good this season at all. I don't get it. I just don't get it. You can tell me all the reports you want. I just don't see it.
They're going to be more.
There's going to be more
and more and more.
Just wait for the one that connects the Kings to this. Oh my gosh.
Just wait.
It's happening. It's happening. It's definitely going to happen.
Coming up next, Keith Smith on the Kings financial situation. A great link on SpoTrack, a great story. We will break that down for you and what it means and some of the ways they can maybe limbo around the financial issues that they have. Chris breaks that all down when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday is looking bright and sunny. Expect a pretty nice day today. It runs a little bit warmer, expecting highs to peak in the lower 90s with light west winds and overnight lows drop back to the 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
You've seen the specials on Amazon, Netflix, Showtime, and more. Don't miss an evening with Steve Trevino.
Babe, can I go with Steve and have a drink at the casino? And then she started to speak wife. She looked at him right in the face and she goes, you can do whatever you want. And his dumb goes, told you. I go, oh, no, it's a trap. It's a trap.
Steve Trevino, Saturday, June 1st, the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss an evening with Steve Trevino.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Everyone knows that a group of fish is called a school, but did you know a group of giraffes is called a tower? Or how about a murder of crows, a quiver of cobras, a shadow of jaguars, a shiver of sharks, or a zeal of zebras? Wild, huh? So what do you call a group of Bell Brothers plumbers? They don't fit into any of the traditional plumber stereotypes. They're clean and well-dressed. They're on time and courteous. They're well-trained and friendly. They're exactly the kind of people you'd be comfortable and confident to invite into your home. That's why we proudly call them our family of plumbers. If you need a drain cleared or any other plumbing service, we'll send one of the family right over to help you out. Call Bell Brothers at 916-444-1234, or you can find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Be listening to Sacktown Sports each Friday morning for the Rivercats Weekend Report with team updates and everything you'll want to know about the next exciting Rivercats homestand. Let's go, Rivercats!
The show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Flexibility, including trades, maybe not as flexible. And then a lot of teams aren't very flexible when it comes to the cap. It's just a matter of going over it and how you can go over it and when you can go over it. So Keith Smith via Spa Track posted kind of just a breakdown of the Kings financials. Chris, I know we looked at it before the show and you kind of have some notes on it. Brendan Nunez, our Sacktown Sports Kings insider, stopped in and you guys were talking about some other things that the Bucks did with Bobby Portis to maybe give Malik some more flexibility. Right. But let's just start high level here on what the current situation is for the Kings.
Yeah, I'm just going to read it verbatim here because I don't want to get any of the words twisted up here. Mm-hmm. So this is again from Keith Smith of Spotrac. He was on with the Drive Guys a couple weeks ago, so you can go check out that interview right now at YouTube and go check that out because he answers tons of very specific questions. This is more of just an overview of the Kings financials for the offseason. He says there may be no simpler offseason preview to write than the Sacramento Kings. They either re-sign Malik Monk and fill the remaining spots with players on minimum contracts, or the Kings lose Malik Monk to a bigger offer than they can give him, and they use their non-taxpayer MLE to try and find a replacement. And the MLE is going to be $12.9 million, which is not nothing. Like that can definitely get you. You can go check out all the free agency lists that we dropped last week. You can go check out some of the names that you can maybe get for that MLE. It's not the most exciting names, but it's still names that you could maybe see the Kings using to try and replace Malik Monk. I don't think that there is going to be any full replacing of Malik Monk, but you can definitely get a grasp of some of the people available. It's really that simple, Keith writes, but in that simplicity, things are far more complex. Everything orbits around Monk, so we'll start here. The Kings only have early bird rights for Monk and is completing a 2-year contract. That limits Sacramento offering him a 4-year deal that maxes out at around $78 million. We already know that. That's an average value of about $19.5 million per season. Not so bad, right? Not so fast. Monk could definitely get offers from some of the teams with cap space out there. Monk would immediately be a plug and play for a lot of teams. The Utah Jazz he lists, but with Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton playing the same role, Monk would be a wonderful fit for just about every team except for the Jazz. I'm sorry, Philadelphia, Orlando, the Thunder, the Spurs, the Pistons, all are listed as potential suitors for Malik Monk. And Keith Smith puts out there something that we've known, but have been wondering if it will actually be true, saying that the deals will start north of $20 million and has an AAV of up to $25 million for some of those teams. And some of the things that me and Brendan were going back and forth is ways that the Kings can kind of get a little bit creative with how they can give Malik Monk more money than what is actually being presented right now. We know the 4-year offer that they can throw him. That's going to be about $77 million around that frame. The Kings can either just offer that, and that is using the bird rights, and that you can match your offer from his initial contract up to 175% of that value, and that's how you get at the 4 years $77 million. However, again, the Kings can get a little bit funky and do something that the Milwaukee Bucks did with Bobby Portis, where essentially you can offer him a 2+1, which is a 2-year contract with a 1-year player option. Malik will then opt out of that player option, giving him access, and this is where things get a little technical. Right now, he's at the early bird rights. He can get full bird rights after being with the team for 3 seasons. He's only been with the Kings for 2 seasons. So if they sign him, you can't just sign him to a 1-year deal. That's not allowed in the CBA. So they can sign him to a 2-year deal, get him past that 3-year threshold, entering him into full bird rights, which allows the Kings to pay him pretty much $30 million a year. And that's how you can get essentially 2 years at a smaller figure, have him opt out, and then sign a bigger contract. So it's kind of a wink deal in a way. And that can get you up to a 4-year, $100 million contract, which is a lot more in that it averages out to be the $25 million that we've been talking about Malik might have to take if Orlando, if Philadelphia, if a team goes out there and prioritizes Malik Monk. $25 million might not be out of the equation for other teams. And so if Sacramento can find a way to get Malik to that $100 million figure, it's going to be really tough for him to say no. He would have to actually think that the situation he's walking into is significantly better than the Kings situation for it to be dollar for dollar. For all intents and purposes, we know the taxes and all that stuff. For the contract value to be dollar for dollar, and for him to choose a different situation.
So, if he does 2 more years, right, and then he opts out again, wouldn't the Kings be in a similar situation where they'd be going up against other teams that would want Malik?
I think in theory, yes, but also I don't know if any other team could offer him $30 million on that next deal.
Right.
Because, everybody would want to be paying Malik Monk $20 to $25 million. The Kings essentially will be paying way more than market value on the second deal because they paid under market value on the first deal.
Right.
So I think that's the thought, is that Malik in that second contract wouldn't even consider maybe doing the 2-for-1 and then leaving after the 2, because the Kings offer can then be, let me get the number here. It would be $30.7 million in the first year in 2026, and then $33.2 million in year 2 of that bird rights deal. So the thought would be nobody is going to give Malik that much money. He would still be, even if his value gets higher, maybe it'll be starting at 25 million, peak at 30 or something like that.
Right.
So no matter what, the Kings would be paying the higher price point on the second part of the deal.
Well, and the way I'm understanding this is Malik would have to really want to stay in Sacramento to do this deal.
Sure,
so the idea that he would go through all this and then leave, probably not.
That's
that
right. Exactly. Because then he would just have taken 2 years of less money for no reason. He could have gone anywhere else. He could have still signed a 2-year deal and then re-upped somewhere else.
And to be fair, and when did the Bobby Portis deal happen? I'm just trying to figure out if he did that after a championship or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic point, because obviously there's a lot more incentive to stay and all that stuff. I can pull that up, but all that it says here in the article is when the Milwaukee Bucks had Bobby Portis coming off a deal for the biannual exception, which the Kings also have access to this year. It's about a $5 million contract. They re-signed him to a new 2-year deal using his non-bird rights, which he opted out. They repeated the process a year later and then re-signed him to a new deal. There's no word on when that was. I can look it up real quick.
The only reason I ask is because, you're more willing to be flexible.
It was a year ago.
Okay. So actually
a year ago is when he declined the option. So he agreed to that 3 years ago.
Got it. So you're in the height of, hey, we're champions and we've been at the top of the mountain for the Eastern Conference. So it's a little bit easier to see Bobby doing that than a team who just lost in the play-in. Yeah. Now, hey, Malik said himself, we would have been in the playoffs if I wasn't injured, but it's really a matter of, well, Malik, how much do you want to stay? We can get you your money eventually, or you can take the money now. Yeah. And, it's guaranteed money in the NBA. You can take the money now while you're a hot name, wherever you want to go, or you can stay in Sacramento and we can work with you and we can get you the money eventually.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why this thing all comes down to, at the end of the day, it's a decision. It's honestly not, I mean, the financials factor into it, absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's, if Malik decides to stay, it makes the decision that Sacramento is the place that he wants to play they can figure out the rest later. They can sign him. He can be the last free agent they sign. As long as the agreement is there, that's the important thing for the Kings. And, it's about Malik making the mental decision that he's staying here more so than anything else, because it might not make the most financial sense right immediately for him to do it. But if he decides that he wants to further his career in Sacramento, they'll make it work. Right. They will make it work. And that's the good thing that we've learned here, is that at the very least, it's not just as cut and dry as the Kings can only offer Malik this, and this is just the money that he's going to get from the Kings, and it's either this or he has to choose somewhere else. It's nice to know that at the very least, there's ways the Kings can get a little bit frisky and make a little bit more sense for Malik, because it's a really tough decision to turn down what he's built here for more money. But I think you can help make that decision easier for Malik from a Sacramento standpoint by making that money easier or more level. And if all things are created equal, I believe Sacramento's got a really good chance at keeping him.
Coming up next, there was another name that Keith Smith brought up in the article, and he compares it to somebody on the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl.
Winter's gone, so there's no excuses for missing out on Sacramento's premier country festival, Country in the Park. It's this Friday and Saturday. Don't miss your chance to see
Bradley Gilbert, Dustin Letts, Jake Owen,
Walker Hayes,
Brian Kelly,
Drew Baldridge, Brian Martin, Michael Ray,
Ingrid Andress, Priscilla Block,
Chase Matthew.
Tickets are only $46 per day. Buy your tickets now at CITPFest.com. That's CITPFest.com. Or take your chances at the gate. Brought to you by Junior Restaurant and Lounge, Vernick Academy, and Fieldhouse American Sports Pub.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question. Do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumber yard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable. It's straight. It's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary.
I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of free, pre-qualified, and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive, all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details and 6324.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Another one. Grizzlies are shopping their 9th pick to find a win now player for Zach Lowe. Can someone tell me when there is a team that wants to keep their pick?
Yeah, what's that going to do? Like, who's going to be the teams that are moving up is my question.
Well, was it Atlanta maybe?
Could be. Definitely could be, I guess. And, there was the report this morning that Washington is looking to add another first-round pick, so maybe it'll be them. But, very, very interesting. I don't know how many – somebody's got to make the picks, right? Like, at some point, somebody's got to say, okay, yeah, we like those guys a little bit. I mean, it seems like everybody's going to be willing to part with their first-round pick. I don't know what that means in terms of what the value of the first-round pick is then.
Yeah. This is from Jason Lloyd, Chris, on the tinfoil hat for LeBron. Jason Lloyd, yes. Browns, Guardians, Cavs for The Athletic. He says that if Mitchell doesn't sign an extension, this goes to why LeBron may have been out there. We were thinking about going back to Cleveland, but we know Donovan Mitchell does not. From what we've heard, it doesn't sound like he wants to stay in Cleveland. If Mitchell doesn't sign an extension with Cleveland this summer, the Cavs will have to explore trade options, and one of the teams standing at the front of the line will be the Lakers. It's possible, given Mitchell's current condition with his calf, that he has already played his final game in a Cavs jersey.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I wonder – the Lakers, I mean, they're going to be tied to everybody. They're going to be, as always, they're going to be the talk of the offseason because there's so many things that do revolve around them. They're going to be one of the more active teams at the deadline, or not at the deadline. Once the offseason officially gets kicked off, a lot of Trae Young talk, a lot of DeJounte Murray talk. I just feel like they're going to be, added to the list of teams that are probably going to be competing with the Kings for these big names out there. I actually think the Kings have a lot better packages to offer than the Lakers, though. I don't know what necessarily is enticing about Rui Hachimura and a D'Lo contract.
Possibly. I think the thing is the Lakers need guards, or they want a guard, it sounds like. So the Lakers and Kings aren't really competing for the same player.
Right.
I guess they are, but they aren't, right? I don't know. I mean, somebody out there wants Donovan Mitchell on the Kings, but I'm not really sure. I just think I've heard too much about Donovan Mitchell and wanting New York and LA that if I'm the Kings, I'm not touching that. No, as far as the names that you've heard, is Donovan Mitchell a no-brainer over Trae Young?
I would think so. I would think for winning purposes, yeah. But if you're trying to sell tickets, Trae Young might get you there.
Really?
I think Trae Young's more exciting.
Really?
And that makes it sound like Donovan's not exciting. I just think Trae Young taking logo threes and, playing how he plays is more entertaining. I don't think it's better for winning basketball.
Donovan, he was kind of a skywalker. He doesn't really
he used to be
play like that anymore. And he's not particularly old.
No.
But yeah, I could definitely see both of them being in a Laker jersey. I would want Donovan Mitchell over Trae Young. I like Trae Young. Yeah. I think he kind of gets a bad rap, but I guess if you don't want the Lakers to win, you should take Trae Young.
Yeah.
Because you got to help it out. But they have so many wings they can afford. That's what we just talked about yesterday. You can afford to take Trae Young.
Right.
As we continue to break down Keith Smith and his article on Spot Track, Davion Mitchell came up.
Yeah.
And he mentioned a name, and it didn't take you very long to say no to this, but he mentioned Davion and an extension and compared his situation to a player on the Celtics.
Yes. More just so talking about the upcoming moves for this offseason and what the Kings can potentially do. They can send a contract extension to De'Aaron Fox this summer, which I know they hope to do. I don't know if De'Aaron shares that same level of excitement. That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, he also mentioned in here, Davion Mitchell could sign a team-friendly rookie scale extension. He was in and out of the rotation all season long, but his defense means he still has value. This is, again, from Keith Smith of Spotrac. This is a quote here. Something like 4 years, $30 million extension that Peyton Pritchard signed last offseason seems like a good benchmark for Mitchell in Sacramento. Then goes on to talk about Chris Duarte isn't going to get extended at this point. But, 4 years, $30 million.
4 more years.
4 more years. Yeah. On top of Davion's, this will be Davion's last year of his rookie contract. So yes, it'll be for, you could say 5 total more years of Davion, including this coming season at $30 million, which is under 10, obviously. What is that? It's like 7.5 or something like that. Something here or there. It's too much for me, but I don't, I think that honestly, I think it's probably a little overvalue for Davion. I'm not saying it's just, I think the Kings could use a different style backup point guard. It honestly doesn't necessarily have to do with where Davion's at in his development. It's more just the type of player Davion is. I'm not sure that's the right mold for the Kings backup point guard.
If you are a team that wants to spray threes and you want to distribute the basketball, then you should probably have a backup point guard that can do that.
One of those things.
And right now they don't. Because Malik Monk is not, is he not? Well, when the season is over, he is no longer a Sacramento King until he resigns, right? So you have De'Aaron Fox right now. Where else are you getting spray threes?
Yeah.
Right?
No idea. No idea. I mean, Sabonis is you need another ball handler to me. I mean, even if Malik resigns, I think you need another ball handler. That's why I had so many ball handlers on my guard list for the free agency list. I think Tyus Jones, I think DeLon Wright. I think they need a different style of point guard or a guy that they can at least trust with the ball in his hands. And if he can shoot, sure, that's great. But at the end of the day, I think they need somebody who they can trust will either create his own shot or will have some help in creating shots for others, whether it be spray threes or just being an actual floor general. I don't think Davion provides any of that. He does provide a certain set of skills. I just don't necessarily, not saying it's not useful. The Kings definitely needed Davion when they were going against guys like Steph, but ultimately I think the Kings could find a little bit more of a versatile player, a guy who can maybe play the point guard or the shooting guard position. And Davion, as we've seen, they do play him at the shooting guard, but size-wise, he just is a point guard.
Coming up next, continuing the Kings conversation, also, we have a future Hall of Famer attached to a team in South Beach, and we take a look at the history of the 13th pick in the draft. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, the A's vastly improved play this year has certainly been noticed around baseball. Mason Miller was named the American League Reliever of the Month for March and April. And by the way, no runs allowed in April. And Brent Rooker is the most recent Player of the Week, a week that featured 2 homers in 1 inning against the Miami Marlins at the Coliseum.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with installation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get your girth on.
This time of year can mean only one thing. Jeeps, Jeeps, and more Jeeps. It's Jeep season at Lodi Jeep Superstore. Leonard Harrington here, and I can't wait to tell you about what we've got going on. Because we're talking Jeeps and big savings too. Now you can get the 2024 Jeep Compass Sport 4x4 for only $26,999. That's right, just $26,999. And of course, it comes loaded with features like rear view camera, power tailgate, blind spot monitor, Bluetooth, 4-wheel drive, and much, much more for only $26,999.
More than 5 available with this offer. MSRP $27,495. Lodi CDJR discount $496 equals a sales price of $26,999. See dealer for details. Offer ends 5/31/24.
We're talking Jeeps. We're talking big savings too during the Jeep season. Going on now at the Lodi Jeep Superstore, right off 99 in Kettleman, where we're open till 9 every night and Sundays after church.
Prices are better at the Low Price Center. Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Visit us at LodiCDJR.com.
Yeah!
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
YouTube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Speaking of understanding, I guess I don't know if knowing your role, right? But we love talking on this show about delusional fan bases and just delusional people. And I do think there is a certain level of delusion that you need. I think a lot of athletes are a bit delusional.
Absolutely.
And that helps them not take no for an answer. And there is someone who has never taken no for an answer, and that helped him when he didn't get the call after school and he had to go to Europe, and he's now made his way into the NBA. And even though he's a scrappy guy, and we initially loved that about him or hated that about him, he crossed the line not too long ago as he has been suspended 4 games for throwing a basketball, not one, but twice at a fan, and then proceeded to just have a really weird and kind of disrespectful back and forth with a member of the media. So Patrick Beverley believes he deserves a pay raise in free agency this summer following his playoff performance. I want to stay with Milwaukee. I want to see what goes here. But, I also played well enough in the playoffs to get a little bump. That's the business side of it. So whatever happens with that happens, as there's one side of people saying, brother, I don't know if you're still going to be in the league. Patrick Beverley thinks he should not only be in the league, but get paid even more.
He deserves a raise.
That's right.
That's
crazy. For his play.
That's insane. He did play really well in that one game, the first game where Dame and Giannis both didn't play. I think when he went off on Tyrese initially.
Oh, I got the numbers here.
What, it was like 14 and 13 that he had that night or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, he played well in that game, and he definitely, he joined that situation mid-season and did play well, but nah, brother, like, you're not getting a pay raise.
I don't even know if Milwaukee wants him back.
Yeah, he'll be lucky to be, exactly, on a vet minimum next year.
You're 35.
Exactly.
Okay, that game,
a one-year deal.
13 and 12. The next game, which was an elimination game, Patrick Beverley had 6 points, 5 rebounds, or 5 assists, 2 rebounds. He was 0 for 3.
And 2 balls thrown at fans.
And 2 balls thrown at fans.
Right. Yeah.
Not that in the stat line.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many podcast
and one
subscribers
disrespected and one disrespected.
He probably lost
media.
podcast subscribers that day. I'm sure any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. Don't ever underestimate people just loving.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would listen to the next episode of the podcast.
Exactly. I mean, we played the clip on the show.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's just, do you think he's going to get signed? Like, do you think it's, have I overblown it?
I think it's going to be
that big of a deal.
Well, just depending on how it works logistically, I think it might just be at some point throughout the season, somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get signed straight away.
Right. He's not going to be, you don't think he'll be at a training camp somewhere?
Honestly, as you look at the Bucks, who have always been a bit weird with their backup point guard situation, And with Dame, what is Dame? My age? Is he 34? Is he 33?
He's older than that. Yeah.
Okay.
He might be 30. Yeah, he might be 35.
They might be in. They might be in the Tyus Jones sweepstakes.
Sure.
Because they need a backup point guard, and I don't know. I don't know if they want a guy like Patrick Beverley. I think he made sense at the time.
Yeah.
Because their defense was presumed to be soft after losing Drew Holiday. So Patrick Beverley is like a generic brand Drew Holiday from a defensive standpoint. And that's why they went in that direction. But I don't know if that's what they want moving forward. They have to figure out what's going on with Giannis's Achilles, what's going on with Dame. So I don't think they're going to say maybe they're looking at I don't think a lot of teams use the Patrick Beverley model and the Band-Aid model, like a Gardner Minshew, the bridge model. I don't think you see the bridge model a lot in the NBA. And if you do see the bridge model, it's not at the beginning of the season. It's halfway through. You didn't get somebody at the trade deadline, whatever it is, and then you grab somebody off waivers. So that's what Patrick Beverley is to me. I don't think he, especially, and I don't know what to make with Patrick Beverley as a mentor or whatever. But yeah, I can't see people saying, "Hey, he's a good bridge," because you don't want drama.
No, especially not from your backup.
You're a circus now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a circus.
Yeah. It's all a balancing act, right? We talk about it all the time with tons of different things where it's talent versus the headache that you bring. And I think Patrick Beverley's scale is way out of balance. And, you're right. Like if you do in theory need a guy like Patrick Beverley, I would sign him halfway through I think he's going to be available. I think he's the exact kind of guy who, he's almost like, like a Morris brother, where it's like those guys are always going to be available and, they'll be ready to go once you pick them up, but you should probably try other things first. They're the thing that you go to if nothing else works. Well, here's all reliable. I'm pretty sure this can get the job done, at least for like you said, it's just a bridge. And that's usually something that you end up falling into, not something you initially, I mean, more so in the NFL, you plan for it, but in the NBA, you don't necessarily plan to have a placeholder there. Normally, you have some sort of plan, and I think Patrick Beverley, especially just with everything he brings, like why? Just bring in Dave. If you want Patrick Beverley, trade for Davion Mitchell and develop him.
Speaking of, we knew it was coming. Manny Too Legit on the Sack Chat. 916-339-1140 is crazy how these things change. Would Pat Bev be a good fit as a backup point guard?
I don't think I can say that after just saying Davion's not a good fit. So I would say no. I do like, I like some of the dog stuff that Beverley brings for sure. I do, I can't say I like what Jimmy brings and then say, it's bad for Beverley. I think it's a similar package there. But again, skill wise, I don't want to deal with the headache that is Patrick Beverley. I don't want to deal with the podcast. I don't want to deal with, him feeling like I should have a bigger say in things here because we talk about this locker room needing some sort of vocal leader. I don't want Patrick Beverley walking in here and saying, "Oh, you guys need a vocal leader. Let me lead. Follow my example." I just think that that's not a good path for them to go down. So I would say no, even if it were like a JaVale McGee kind of role, I would probably say no.
He would eviscerate me during a presser too.
Yeah,
you guys gotta think about me. No,
you better do it now.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you subscribe to my podcast?
And I would just be like, no.
Excuse me, ma'am. Please, can you get out the circle?
Subscribe to Stiles and Watkins?
Yeah. Can you get out the circle? Then please get out the circle.
Yeah.
Please get out the circle.
Fall back.
I don't want anything to do with Patrick Beverley.
I'm good. I'm so good. There's just other options.
Yeah.
It's just.
We're to a point now. This guy has gotten in his own way, man.
Yep.
You can't be a Patrick Beverley type in the league, and you got champagne taste. You know what I mean? With not a champagne budget, and that's exactly what Patrick Beverley has turned into.
Yeah.
And that's why Nick Wright destroyed him, because this was not who he was.
Yeah.
He got a little bit. He is the equivalent right now of too much dip on his chip.
Much dip on your chip. 100%.
That is the equivalent.
Yeah.
I don't know who you think you are.
Yeah, absolutely. He thinks he's Draymond. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, and Draymond can tell him too, like, they don't love you like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Draymond can because Draymond can get away with things because he's such a good defender, because Steph is on his side. There's a lot of things that balance out the pad of Draymond. But like, you're talking about a backup point guard who isn't an offensive weapon. Yeah, he can't really
get you spray threes.
He's not drawing attention. He's not really a playmaker in the traditional sense. It's not saying he's a bad player. It's just the fact I don't think that you need to prioritize bringing him in. Maybe if they lose Davion Mitchell and they feel like, hey, we just need a defensive-minded guard, but I think that you would think Keon Ellis before you think, let's go out and sign.
You said Kobe Jones is defensive-minded.
Why not? I would convince myself of that before I start to go the Patrick Beverley route. I do really think it's a distraction, and I think especially the less and less he plays, this is where I do truly think there is a bad side to player podcasts. Nobody wants to hear from the organizational standpoint. No one wants to hear from the 14th guy. Nobody wants to hear about your complaints or how you, unless it's all productive conversation. But knowing a guy like Patrick Beverley, he's going to say like, hey man, like if I were out there or something, we heard Kevin Huerter say, if I wish I was out there so I could impact things. I guarantee Patrick Beverley, if he weren't getting playing time in Sacramento, would understand that his podcast platform is big enough to make some noise. And I just wouldn't want that situation to go bad.
Kings fan on the Sac chat. Yeah, the Kings don't have enough guards. Let's get 2 or 3 more. Clearly.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Also
joking about the number of guards from the 916. Beverly's not good enough to talk the way he talks. Yeah,
it's sad, but that's the reality. That is anymore. A reality.
I don't want anything to do with Patrick Beverley.
I'm good.
And yeah, you essentially have that. And even from a ball handler conversation, I mean, he's not even a pure point guard like that.
Nope. And he's 35, going to be 36 years old. Like, I just don't see what the upside would be. I don't see what the, and again, I'm somebody who champions Jimmy Butler coming in here and cleaning house pretty much. And I just don't think it would be a productive. I just don't think it would be productive at all for Patrick Beverley to be here. I just think I don't think he would tear the locker room apart, but I just don't think bringing him would be additive. I think it would be, a lot of distractions, and I think it would be a lot of unnecessary questioning and things that get brought up because he just is an agitator. And, I just don't want to be a part of it. I'm not saying there's no need for it and there's no use for it, but I just don't want to be a part of it.
They're different type of dogs, right? And a dog that I'm seeing, I know they lost, and we'll get into them a little bit more on the other side here. A dog I'm seeing, and we've already talked about this plenty of times, but PJ Washington. I mean, he's in people's face. Yeah. He's screaming a lot of things. That is the level of dog that I think the Kings need. Not weird antics and not someone that possibly, I'm not a doctor here, but I mean, would it surprise anyone if Patrick Beverley has anger issues? No. I don't. That's not what we're doing here.
It was also hilarious, but like we're talking about the dude who showed the referee the camera.
He showed the camera.
That's crazy.
But maybe Coach Mike Brown would have liked that.
No, that was hilarious, but that's psychotic behavior. Yeah. That's like, brother,
Coach Mike Brown showed the laptop.
You cannot do that. Not during a game and ask somebody on press row, can I see your camera for a second? That is that's like, I mean, Alan, baseball person, that's pretty much like taking your bat and drawing in the ground for the umpire. This is where that ball was that you just called the strike. That's except it's worse. It's like he's bringing technology into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just,
he got tossed for that, right?
I don't think so. I think he got a tech. No, I think he got a tech. I don't think he got tossed for it, though.
No, I'm going to look it up. We'll look it up.
I don't know if he got tossed.
I don't think he did.
Probably already had
I think he got a tech for it. I don't know if
that feels right.
Yeah.
That feels
It was insane. Just an insane thing to do.
All right, coming up next, the history of the 13th pick. And we get into a little bit of football talk later in the show as well. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday is looking bright and sunny. Expect a pretty nice day today. It runs a little bit warmer, expecting highs to peak in the lower 90s with light west winds and overnight lows drop back to the 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 20 or more select self-leveling underlayment. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
And before overtime started, Patrick Beverley comes out on the floor to Eric Lewis with a camera. I mean, just ridiculous. And Eric Lewis rightfully tees him up.
You said they thought he was fouled. He was fouled. And would you say missing that?
So, yeah, he got a tech, but he was not kicked out of the game.
I would have sent his ass home. I'll tell you that right now. I definitely would have been like, bro, you've got to go. We just watched it back, and it's just insane, man. Just, it's one of those things where you know what you're getting into before you even do it. But I've never seen that before in my life. For someone to actually bring out a press row camera it's wonderfully done.
Inspiring.
It's just insane. It's an insane thing to think of.
It becomes a thing, and look, we're not pocket watching, but I'm sure Patrick Beverley does pretty well for himself for the podcast with the partnership with Barstool. That's right. So how much of what Patrick Beverley now does, any of it, how you have to question his intentions, right? Are you doing it because that's really how you feel? Or is there something in the back of your mind thinking I'm also doing this because this is going to be great material to talk about on the pod? And I'm never going to not think about that when it comes to Patrick Beverley.
Well, I mean, that was before the podcast. That moment happened before he was on the pod. He's always been insane. Like, I remember he was on the Clippers and he was guarding KD when he was on the Warriors and was all up in his face clapping. And he's always been like this. He's always been a nuisance. It's just,
I mean, the antics have gotten worse, though.
Worse than that? Worse than the camera?
No, I'm saying this has all been a part of the process.
Yeah.
The antics, and I don't know. We can look up. He might have had the pot with the Lakers. I don't think so.
I think that was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I don't think he did. He might have had it, but I think he's always been. This has always been the Patrick Beverley problem, is that he has a bit of an edge to him, if you will. And I think that is probably what kept him out of the league the first couple of years. But I would say his talent definitely eventually showed through. But the scales are starting to tip again to where it's just not worth the headache. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the antics. It's not worth, yes, it might be funny, but I just don't think it's worth all of the drama that it entails. He's also been on a lot of teams here recently.
He has. The odds to, and NBA Central said that Milwaukee Bucks are the favorites to win the Patrick Beverley sweepstakes this summer, and people are having fun with using the term sweepstakes for Patrick Beverley. Milwaukee Bucks have the shortest odds. After that, it gets a little interesting. The Miami Heat, I can't see Pat Riley and Spoelstra wanting to deal with that.
No.
Miami Heat after that, the Lakers part 2. Okay. After that, the Phoenix Suns. Sure. Why not? And after that, the Golden State Warriors.
Huh. Sounds to me like Patrick Beverley's not going to find a team.
No. And then after that, the Spurs.
The Suns,
and Pop,
maybe.
Pop
I
ain't
was
dealing
going to say
with
the
that.
Suns too.
Yeah, the Suns are desperate
just
enough,
to
right?
put something out there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And,
it would be a
switch
very
it up.
Suns thing.
Yeah.
Let's just get people.
Exactly. We want disruptors.
Anyone-
Man.
Yes, exactly.
KD does not want to deal with that.
But
None
he'd
of them
rather-
want to.
He doesn't want to deal with it. Yeah, no, he actually probably doesn't. I was going to say he probably doesn't want to go against him, though, but probably being with him every day is
You'll
probably
just look
worse.
the other way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And at this point,
Yeah,
Patrick
yeah.
Beverley, he's not that whole thing, which was so
Phoenix makes
stupid, by the way, when he was trying to guard KD. Patrick Beverley wouldn't even do that anymore.
No.
Or he would
Or
for
he-
the pod.
Well, the problem, yeah. I mean, maybe he wouldn't because he has the pod, because he would be afraid.
If he
Maybe
gets
in his
cooked.
head, it's like, yeah, like this is cool when I don't have a lot at stake. I'm making a name for myself, but if I get him riled up and then he cooks us,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna have some explaining to do on the pod, and there's really no ducking it. I don't know. I mean, I think it's way too much. I just think it's all way too much of a distraction for a dude who's just not that great. Not that great. I mean, in a way, it's almost like Bronny, where it's like,
Take Bronny. I'd rather take Bronny.
Honestly, I probably would. And I went for pretty much the whole first half hour of the show saying never Bronny, never Bronny, never Bronny.
Right.
But I would probably rather have my team have Bronny, lean into that delusion
Yeah.
than to sign Patrick Beverley and go through, the gymnastics of trying to tell. Because the worst part would be, I mean, maybe we're honest on the show about JaVale McGee. Maybe we would be honest about Beverley. But I do think there would be some things where it's like, dang, like this Kings team did kind of need like a guy like this. And you would almost overlook some of the antics because it would be some stuff that is really helpful and beneficial to the team. I just don't want to even put myself in that situation. I acknowledge that I would probably be hypocritical in that situation, and I don't want it. I just don't want it.
Speaking of Kevin Durant, another name came up, or another team came up with Kevin Durant. This is Kendrick Perkins with First Take. We know the Miami Heat went to 2 NBA finals. Jimmy Butler wasn't able to get them over the hump. You get a guy like KD in there, and also Miami Heat, they got some pieces. They got some pieces over there that's eye candy. This actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Sure.
And Kendrick Perkins, he's been crawling back up our list ever since he had some good things to say about the Kings. But that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
You got Bam, KD, Butler, both older, but can still get it done. Say bye-bye to Tyler Hero finally.
Bye.
You're going to move off of Tyler Hero. You're going to move off what?
I would think
Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, Jaime Jaquez
probably go.
Picks.
You probably say you can do Tyler, but we got to hold
we're in
on.
a Keegan situation here?
I feel like you might have to say you can't get rid of Jaime. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
I don't know
every
what their
team's
picks,
gotten untouchable.
Yeah, I don't know what their
sense.
pick situation is.
It would definitely make sense. I would think that they probably have it. Miami hasn't done any big splash moves in a while. I would think about it, but the question of KD's desires, like I think that's a huge question if you're Miami. Miami's the ultimate place where it's you are just here to win. Like Miami can obviously be a distraction, but the Heat, they are there to win games. There is Heat culture there that you have to live up to. Are we sure KD wants to live up to Heat culture?
I think KD is someone who is almost, I don't know if chameleon is the right term, but he just turns into wherever he's at. Devin Booker, if Devin Booker, and then he gets upset about a year into it. Devin Booker, I don't know if Devin Booker is a dog. I know he scored 70 points. You know what? I don't care.
Double teamed.
Doesn't like to be double teamed. Devin Booker, I don't know, man. And look, we spent a lot of time, and it's doing well. Our video about De'Aaron Fox yesterday, whether he's elite or not. Look, I have nothing against De'Aaron Fox. We just have these conversations. I don't know what to do with Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Because Devin Booker does not have that dog to me. And I think that KD got to the Suns, and Bradley Beal just wants to get paid $100 million, $billion, which he already is. Yeah. Devin Booker is more worried about showing up in his lowrider.
That's right.
And wearing his Booker ones everywhere. All we talked about is those stupid shoes the whole
bulky.
time. They look Don't get me started on that. So I think KD got there and he just said, "Oh, we just out here just chilling,
we're just living life,
and y'all injured half the time."
That's
okay,
crazy.
that is what it is.
Yeah.
He gets to the Heat as long as Butler can stay healthy. Butler will turn him back in to that dog to be like, "Look, I'm not out here to just mess around.
Yeah,
I need to win this thing, and you know that."
I mean, KD swears he's a hooper, and like you would think that a situation, if you're surrounded by, it might not even be that might be the perfect situation for KD because he is so lax about all those things. Because if everyone else around you is that determined, and you don't have to necessarily meet their determination because you have that skill that puts you over the top. Maybe in a weird way, it's the perfect marriage of, hey, I'm Kevin Durant. I'm here to score 30. Jimmy Butler's here to like ruin your day, and Bam Adebayo's here to physical you up. I'm really just here to get buckets and to smile in the sunshine. So I could see it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's just, the dedication side to it would be the thing that I would question because, I do think Miami's a place, especially Pat Riley. We just heard him rip into all of his stars. I don't know if KD would take well to that. I feel like KD might say he likes tell me what's real, tell me what it is, and that's how I respond to criticism really well. Nothing about KD's track record says talk bad about me and I actually enjoy it.
Not at this stage in his career.
I mean, even in Golden State, it was like, please cater to KD. Make sure KD's happy or else he's going to blow this whole thing up. And even when they were trying to nurture that situation, like you said, he still ended up upset and left storming out.
And then we found out that KD and Kyrie were best friends. And we hadn't heard about it beforehand, and we haven't heard about it since. But they were best friends in Brooklyn. All right, coming up next, the history of the 13th pick and what the Kings can do with it. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sacktown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream, but it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants. Did you know we love country music? Our Bennett's team will be setting up our Country in the Park kitchen to serve all country music fans. We will be grilling and preparing your favorite foods from Bennett's. Giant cheeseburgers, chicken or mushroom Caesar salads, and of course, our legendary barbecue ribs and fried chicken. Did I mention crispy hot French fries? And most of our meals are gluten-free friendly. We will have a covered eating pavilion, so catch a bite, enjoy a bit of shade, and of course, all the great country music with Bennett's. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com. Founded by a leading family in the diamond industry for more than a century, we're experts in lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 for 10% off your purchase. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Hagen Oaks Demo Days is in the home stretch, and this is your last chance to register for an individual fitting appointment with the manufacturer's fitting staff from Ping, TaylorMade, Mizuno, Callaway, Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio. You've waited many long months for the new golf season, and Hagen Oaks has your new golf gear right now. Book your individual Hagen Oaks Demo Days fitting appointment. Call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for your personal fitting. Hagen Oaks, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway or hagenoaks.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hagen Oaks Demo Days is in the home stretch, and this is your last chance to register for an individual fitting appointment with the manufacturer's fitting staff from Ping, TaylorMade, Mizuno, Callaway, Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio. You've waited many long months for the new golf season, and Hagen Oaks has your new golf gear right now. Book your individual Hagen Oaks Demo Days fitting appointment. Call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for your personal fitting. Hagen Oaks, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway or hagenoaks.com.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Chris, there's still some back and forth going on about the NBA and NFL stuff, and I think we have the Shannon Sharp audio. It was fine. It was just Shannon Sharp freaking out on Kendrick Perkins because Kendrick said Jalen Suggs could play in the NFL.
Oh, that's interesting.
He had a couple names.
Jalen Suggs was nice in high school.
Yeah,
nice.
Perk did his homework and Shannon Sharp just still wasn't feeling it. Now we have
Tyler can play baseball. Jalen Suggs can play football.
There you go. Now we have Swaggy P chiming in, saying all that soft stuff these football players saying about NBA players. Last time I checked, Darren Williams beat up Frank Gore. We're 1-0.
Are we talking about celebrity boxing now?
Yes.
This is oh my God. This cinematic universe is becoming insane. Oh my God. Well, I mean, why would you say that? Because now you're setting up Nate Robinson getting absolutely floored by Jake Paul.
Right.
First off, this is turning into something that I wasn't expecting to love, but
it's taking over the summer.
It's kind of great. Like if this just becomes NBA and NFL players throwing back at each other, I'm kind of here for it. But what is Nick Young talking about? The one thing you cannot call football players is soft.
Well, he's not calling them soft.
Is he saying their takes are soft?
No, he's saying
or they are being soft.
No, they're calling NBA players soft, and he said, "Let us not forget, Darren Williams."
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
knocked out Frank Gore.
Okay.
And it's Frank Gore's birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Frank. I don't think you would want that to be how he gets tied in. Happy birthday, Frank. Remember when you got knocked out cold by Darren Williams? No, I mean, I still think what Austin Rivers said was definitely a stretch. 30 is way too many. I think I would say it's probably closer to like 3 to 5 if I had to actually settle on a number. It's probably some. It's definitely not a lot, but there's a couple dudes who can slide into positions, and we're not talking be stars, but I think you can supplement,
yes,
the third down running back kind of thought process, but maybe for a tight end or a safety or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't know where this thing is going. Where could this thing go? Could they end up getting on the field?
This could be it could go south. It could definitely go south, and everybody starts fighting. Actually. Or maybe we could get like some sort of sanctioned crossover event here.
There's going to be something.
Can we get something?
Everything. These guys all got podcasts. Because this is what
This could be what the big three becomes.
Right. This is what I was thinking about a couple weeks ago. I saw just the line, right? And to kind of take a quick left turn here with Jay Williams and the motorcycle thing, because what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, right? Because it's weird to me where that line is. You know, Jay, hey, you can't, when you sign your contract, there's certain things you can and can't do.
Sure.
Meanwhile, you have Micah Parsons. Did you see this? Micah Parsons 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I was just thinking the celebrity game.
No, not that. Micah Parsons a couple weeks ago is I believe either in Japan, and he was with CJ Stroud. I think it was on behalf of the Bleacher Report thing.
Sure.
And Micah Parsons is going up against a sumo wrestler.
Yeah, I did see that.
And I'm looking at his calves, and I'm thinking, you know me, because I'm thinking, there's where is this line?
Yeah, I mean I have no idea. It's a fair question for sure. Like, and is there actually words in your contract that say specifically what you can't do? Because if I were an NFL team, I would definitely say you're not doing any sort of thing that could be even resembled as a sport. You're not allowed to do unless it is football, unless it is, or whatever sport you're signing up for.
Football, workout, you can do, if you want to do, even basketball would be tough, but you'd have to let them play basketball. But
that even becomes like, maybe you could say pickup, but it can't be competitive, like, because basketball, you could try and throw something down and get rim checked and fall on your back or whatever. You tear your ACL. It's just as many injuries can happen in basketball.
I agree.
To your point, what is the line? Because these guys are going to be reckless. I'm sure they'll go on vacations and ride ATVs. Hyper competitive. So you can't tell them no or tell them they can't do something because they'll immediately. You can't do a backflip, bro. What you talking? I know you're an athlete. You can't do a backflip. Well, they're going to try and do a backflip. It might bust their head or something. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely an interesting question. But if I'm telling you right now, if I'm a GM or if I'm an owner, my players are not playing any other sport besides the ones that they're playing for. Because every time I see that, like in that celebrity game, Michael Parsons is trying to like dunk and Euro step on people, and it just takes one bad step, and your career's over because you were trying to show out in a celebrity game. It's just not worth it. And especially if you're Michael Parsons, like a guy who is incredibly marketable for the biggest franchise arguably in America, or the biggest, most valuable organization in America, or sporting organization, you're really going to risk it all playing basketball. And, I think that the Jay Will thing is an extreme case, but it is absolutely an example of, you got to take care of yourself. And there's going to be some things that you're going to miss out on because you are an athlete and you have to protect yourself because, you just got to make sure that your body's ready to do what you're getting paid to do. And if you're going to do things that are going to put that at harm, you're potentially messing up your whole life. And, not saying anything Micah did but it's just, to your point, it's a slippery slope. And I don't know where the line is.
I don't either. But I do know, I mean, it's one thing to say you can't play basketball. I don't know what's worse, right? Things that will always have certain risks, or doing something different, right? Like, I feel more comfortable with Micah Parsons playing basketball than I do doing sumo wrestling, because you don't know what you're doing. I don't feel comfortable doing either, but at least I know how to play basketball. You're doing something different with a guy that's a professional. I don't want him doing either.
Yeah.
But at least I know how to play basketball.
Yeah, but that won't stop you from busting an ACL.
It won't. It won't.
At least the sumo wrestler, he could just go down or something.
But to be fair, year in and year out, I think the reason I'm leaning more towards that is because year in and year out, how many times do we actually hear of NFL players going down, or athletes going down for playing a different sport during their off season?
How many times do they tell us? How many times is it, I slipped in the shower. Oh, I was doing something else besides, because you could get your contract voided. If you were found doing something that's outside of what's in your contract, you could potentially get voided. And so you have to say, oh, no, I wasn't playing basketball. I was mowing my lawn. I was chasing my kid. And then, I fell in a pothole.
Yeah. I hear you. All right. real quick, and then we're going to get into the history of the 13th pick. But real quick, a couple weeks ago, this bettor, he had the potential buyout. What was it, Chris? It was the Rangers,
crazy,
the Thunder, and the Chiefs.
Chiefs, yes, that's what it was.
So obviously he's 2 for 3.
Yep.
His potential cash out went all the way up to 100,000.
Right.
We sat here and we compared what would you do, what would you do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is him. He gets out. He got out.
Really?
He explains what happened.
He cashed it?
Yeah, he explains what happened. He explains the fluctuations, and then he has a video of literally cashing it out. This is him.
This is it. Last time. One hell of a ride. I got to go to a playoff game in OKC, and one of hell of an up and down here with the cash outs. Started 11,000, got all the way up to 100,000, dropped all the way back down to 30,000, and right now we're at 80. And I said last night, if we win this game and they offer at least 80, I'm walking. Well, they're offering 80, and I don't think I can take any more. I want to keep going, but I'm a single dad, and the money would be wonderful. So I want you guys to see it happen. So there's your 80,000.
Wow.
And that's him cashing out.
You can hear the gambler in him say, "Don't leave the table yet. Don't leave the table yet."
So that's what we were talking about. That 100,000, he doesn't cash out, and then I think OKC lost, and it dropped down to 30.
Yeah.
I would have got out.
And that's
at 80.
exactly the question I was asking. I didn't know how big.
Yeah, and think about
how
this.
possible the fluctuation is.
Think about how bad he probably was feeling until about 5 seconds left in that game last night.
Right.
Oh yeah, Dallas blew it.
Dallas blew it.
It was 3-1, series over at that point. And OKC went on like a 12-0 run.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and it's like, yeah, I could see how maybe at that point you're just like, I'm out, cashing out.
We're done here. Speaking of the Mavs, they really just made they did their best Kings impression from the free throw line. I mean, that was horrible.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. That lost them the game.
If you go on to lose that series, that is not it for you.
Not at home.
Just real quick.
That's extra bad.
12 for 23 from the free throw.
Mm.
They shot 52.2% from the free throw line. Just incredibly horrific.
And it felt like, in the fourth quarter, they missed a ton. Like Luka missed that one.
Luka missed one to tie.
Huge. And then PJ Washington missed one. And then I think they might have had to miss one on purpose.
Kyrie weirdly was 1 for 2. So now that thing is going back to OKC, and we'll see what happens there. All right. When we return, the history of the 13th pick. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Winter's gone, so there's no excuses for missing out on Sacramento's premier country festival, Country in the Park. It's this Friday and Saturday. Don't miss your chance to see
Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jake Owen, Walker Hayes, Brian Kelly, Drew Baldridge, Brian Martin, Michael Ray,
Ingrid Andress, Priscilla Block,
Chase Matthews.
Tickets are only $46 per day. Buy your tickets now at CITPfest.com. That's CITPfest.com. Or take your chances at the gate. Brought to you by Junior Restaurant and Lounge, Vernick Academy, and Fieldhouse American Sports Pub.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, the A's vastly improved play this year has certainly been noticed around baseball. Mason Miller was named the American League Reliever of the Month for March and April. And by the way, no runs allowed in April. And Brett Rooker is the most recent Player of the Week, a week that featured 2 homers in 1 inning against the Miami Marlins at the Coliseum.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question. Do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumber yard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable. It's straight. It's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive, all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details and 6324.
Always find a gem. You're telling me there's not one guy in this draft that's not going to be a good rotation piece? Dare I say a star? There'll be someone. There'll be more than just one someone. But will the Kings get that someone? And if they do get him, will they hold on to that someone? Let's go down, Chris. We can start from the past and get to the present. And this is an article on SacktownSports.com that you can check out right now by our own Brendan Nunes, Sacktown Sports Kings insider. And here's some of the guys, Chris. All right. Zach LaVine in 2014. That sounds pretty good. Devin Booker in 2015. 2016.
Can we skip 2016?
We can skip 2016.
I really wish we can skip 2016. 2016 would be the year to skip.
What was the thought process there?
You're going to have to ask somebody who has any idea of what was even been. I don't know. I don't know. There must have been ayahuasca in the building or something. There's no logical explanation. I still have not heard anything as to why Yorgos Papagiannis was picked in 2016. I have no idea. No idea. Yeah. They thought he could be like a young Marc Gasol, but I think Vlade was the only one who thought that.
Well,
no thanks.
It is a kind of an interesting situation when it's okay. We don't want to overthink something, but we also want to try to get a hidden gem. And sometimes you look too hard for a gem that's not hidden. It's just not a gem.
Well, I mean, the bigger problem was this guy was like projected to be the 50th pick in the draft, and they took him at 13. And so it's one thing to be really excited about a prospect and whatever, have your own evaluation. It's another thing to just absolutely blow any sort of value system out the door and say like, okay, like if you really like him, that's fine. You could take him in the second round. You didn't have to take him at 13. It made absolutely no sense. It wasn't even like we think we're outsmarting people. It was just this is the right decision because we see this. This is a great pick and nobody else saw it.
At what?
It was terrible.
What number starts or stops
now.
The bust conversation? Is it after top 10?
It depends how bad the player is, because I'm telling you, Yorgos Papagiannis is a bust.
You can't.
How is he not a bust? Like, what is he?
So is it the whole first round? No, it can't be the whole first round. 15?
Yeah, maybe 20, I guess. You know, at 20, I guess you're maybe allowed to have the grace of having it not work out. But I feel like it just depends on how bad the pick is, because you can still get picked at 25, and if you're completely unusable, and then there's people in the second round, I would say you're a bust at that point.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going before Chris. We gotta get Chris back on the right side of things here. This should put you in the right direction. 2017, Donovan Mitchell.
It's good value. It's really good value, but yeah, you know, I mean, if you get a guy like Donovan Mitchell at 13, obviously that's a dream. I mean, if you can get an all-star at 13, like there has been with, you know, you listed out Levine and Devin Booker, 3 out of 4 years, you know, not bad. And, you know, that's the exact kind of thing that you're hoping for. And that's why, you know, maybe you might not want to trade out of the pick. I do think I see a lot of Jared McCain's in the mock drafts, and that could potentially be a guy who does pop, and you could see him maybe having a really good NBA career and being picked at 13. I could see it.
Next up, Jerome Robinson.
Clipper. I just know he's a Clipper. That's it.
Is he still a Clipper?
Maybe.
No, they traded him 1.5 seasons after taking him.
Oh, tough. Oh,
he was
oh boy.
He's a warrior. He's a Valkyrie. He's a
Valkyrie adjacent.
He's a
Valkyrie adjacent. He is wow. So there you go. He spent 2 years with the Clippers, 2 with Washington, and then last year with the Warriors. Never played more than 42 games in a regular season. So yikes. Yeah. That's a bust. That's a miss. That's a big miss. I would say at 13, that's definitely still bust category.
Okay.
I think you're still trying to get, especially when, again, Devin Booker, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, all of these guys have been found at 13. If you're taking Yorgos Papagiannis or Jerome Robinson, that's a miss. That is not even close to the level of like Davion Mitchell is about as close to like, I think that, and even then I would not consider Dave. Maybe Moses Moody is the better example. Like, I don't know if I would call Moody a bust, but I definitely wouldn't have some huge objection if you did call him a bust.
Right. Because it was Moody at 11,
I think, or something.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was.
Yeah.
I think it was Kuminga at 7, Moody at 11.
Like he's playable. I just think that's. I think so. Steve Kerr doesn't seem to think so. Yeah. I think if he goes somewhere else, he'll be like an okay player. But I mean, as it currently is constructed, maybe he is a bust.
2019, Tyler Hero.
These are all way too good of names.
Tyler, I'm telling you.
Is this 13 or 3?
I'm telling you, number 13, Tyler Hero. And was it Tyler Hero and Devin Booker who both got drafted after not starting? Or was that only Devin Booker?
I know it was Devin Booker for sure. I can't remember if Tyler. I think Tyler might have started, but they both were obviously Kentucky guards and continue to keep up Cal's legacy.
2020, Kira Lewis Jr. out of Alabama. Yeah. Lewis Jr. drew comparisons to De'Aaron Fox from college due to his elite speed, particularly in transition. Unfortunately, he hasn't worked out in New Orleans. And after 2.5 seasons with the Pelicans, they dumped his contract to avoid the luxury tax. He hardly played with New Orleans before the deal and just one appearance with Toronto before they elected to move him once again, ending the season with Utah. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, I didn't know it had gone that bad for Kira Lewis. He had some moments in his rookie year, but clearly it has not panned out. And again, like you could tell by the amount of teams, Toronto and then Utah, like those are two very developmental situations. And if it hasn't worked out there, I don't know if it's going to happen for you, pal.
2021, Chris Duarte.
I don't know what to do with that because he had a good rookie year. He averaged like 12 points a game his rookie year. And then obviously, has taken nothing but step back since. But that's a player. Like, again, that's where it's like 13. If you get a Chris Duarte, the theoretical player that is Chris Duarte, the guy that he was his rookie year, I think that's a successful pick, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you're the Kings and you get a guy who can play in your rotation and score, 8 points a game at the 13th pick, I think that's a success. I think if you get a Chris Duarte, in theory, the thought of Chris Duarte, I definitely think that's that to me is a good enough pick. Like, I don't think it has to be like we see the Tyler Heroes, Donovan Mitchells, all those names, but I think a Chris Duarte at 13 for this team right now would be okay. Not the Chris Duarte we see today, but the Chris Duarte who is coming out his rookie year averaging 10 plus.
Jalen Durant, that was Detroit via Charlotte.
Yeah.
And that's a steal. He's been good.
Yeah.
He's been good. Going to keep cooking here. And last but not least, 2023, Grady Dick. So
TBD on that.
TBD. So you subtract Grady because he just got drafted.
Yeah.
And so you have 9 years and about 7 of these dudes are not.
We're okay with.
Well, yeah, but also funny enough, 7 of these dudes are not on the team that drafted them. So the numbers say
that's interesting. Sure. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have
absolutely.
Zach LaVine, no.
Yep.
Devin Booker, yes.
Correct.
Papagiannis, no. Donovan Mitchell, no.
Correct.
Jerome Robinson, no. Tyler Hero, yes. Kira Lewis, no. Chris Duarte, no. That's 6. Jalen Durant, it was Detroit via Charlotte. So I think that's a yes.
Yes, that's a yes.
Yes, that's a yes.
But you just listed out Tyler Hero might be moved this offseason too.
So and then the last 2 with Durant and Grady, we probably shouldn't even count.
Yeah.
So 5 out of the 7 are not even on the team that drafted them anymore, which is just something to keep in mind. All right. When we return, we got Bronny stats. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over 3-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fits. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream, but it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip. A brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Chris, you have the Bronny stat line?
I sure do. Like I said, we had it on here in the background in the studio. And
I mean, I never saw him play.
yeah, that was kind of the problem. Is every time we looked up, it was cutting to Bronny on the bench with the towel over his head and biting his nails or something. He did play 20 minutes in I believe a full 48-minute game that they just hosted between all of the recruits. Bronny James, he did start for his team. He played 20 minutes and looked a lot like he did in college. 4 points, 4 rebounds. 6'1" Bronny James had 0 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers to go with those, no assists. 2 of 8 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3 after he had 0 of 4 from 3 after he just had that video yesterday.
That's right.
Circulate. I think he was 9 of 25 on relocated threes. So Bronny James, a rough showing at the NBA draft combine where there was a lot. I mean, he definitely had one of the lowest point totals. There was only maybe 3 other people who had 4 or fewer points, and everybody, I think, like 10 players on each side played. So Bronny only ending up with 4 points, no assists. I don't think that's really what they would have hoped for that kind of showing. Probably would have, at the very least, if he's not going to score, at least setting guys up or doing something that shows he can be a cog in an offense. Probably would have been an ideal showing for him. I don't think 4 points is what they were going for. 4 points, no assists, 3 turnovers too. That's not great. It's not great. And, we didn't watch it, so not all those things are created equal. Maybe he was a really big hustle player or something like that, but it's not a good showing. Not a good showing.
Yeah, I don't look. Yeah, that's going to pack some.
People are just
G
looking
League
for
arenas,
an excuse
right?
to get him excited, to get excited about him. At least give them a reason to get excited.
That's gonna pack.
It's gonna pack it up, dude.
Pack the house.
It's gonna be crazy.
Wow.
It's gonna be a movie.
I did not
until Mason Jones comes to town.
Well, that's the thing too. I think that Bronny, I haven't really heard too much from him, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I actually just saw this video of baby Gronk. Remember him?
Oh my God, that dude.
So
it was more his dad.
Yeah, his dad. And there's a video with baby Gronk getting cooked, and then baby Gronk responds and says, well, you didn't show these clips. But anyway, the idea is people really want to take down baby Gronk because
yes,
baby
because
Gronk.
Baby Gronk.
We're literally calling him baby
Yes,
Gronk still. And
yeah, he's probably like 15.
right. From the Lonzo Balls of the world and the LaMelos and the baby Gronks, all these kind of child prodigy
It's a new
type
age
deals.
thing, kind of.
I feel like Bronny at least doesn't have that. I don't know that there are a lot of people.
Look at me, Louis.
Yeah, I
part
don't
of
feel like
it.
there are not a lot of people like, I mean, maybe they do want to cook Bronny,
Right.
but you also want to cook people that are good. You want to cook someone that's overrated. I don't even know if Bronny's overrated.
Right. No, yeah. If you cook Bronny, no one's going to be talking about your portion of that.
No.
They're going to be saying, look at Bronny, get cooked.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it was by. It's just, look at this kid get touching the floor. Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't see it. I don't think it's going to have necessarily the allure that, even those other guys had. Like, I think I get the baby Gronk hype machine, as weird as it is. I understood the Lonzo, LiAngelo, LaMelo hype train. The Bronny thing, I just LiAngelo even, not even LaMelo, not Lonzo, LiAngelo scored 100 points in a high school game. It looked like trash.
Right.
They were cherry picking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he took 33s in the game, but he scored 100 points in the game. There's something there to talk yourself into. The thing you keep talking yourself, not you, but people are talking themselves into is he is LeBron James Jr. And that's it. It's just like, tell me the skill, tell me the trait, show me the highlight reel that has you convinced that there's something there that isn't amongst every other draft prospect.
Well, you know what this is about? It's always that battle of MJ versus LeBron. And
Sure.
MJ's kids didn't get there.
They definitely didn't. They definitely did not.
One played, I think, at UCF or something.
Yeah, UCF. Yeah, I think it was UCF.
Hey. One is on the Real Housewives of Miami.
Yeah, he's a real winner.
Which one?
He's a real winner.
Isn't he about to get? They're not together anymore.
They got back together, didn't they?
Stop it. Andy was on The Traitors, if you ever watched that.
Bronny could never. Bryce Maximus would never.
Come on.
Success comes in all different type of forms.
Not in this conversation. All right.
Fair. Touche.
Because Bronny, he's going to do something, and they're going to do something that has never been done before. And as we switch over to some things that aren't being done right now, not necessarily before, the A's and the Oakland A's, you have Susan Slesser, who writes for, I believe, the SF Chronicle, who does a lot of Giant stuff. But they had her on Foul Territory, and they asked her about how she feels about the A's and really just this interesting situation that the A's fans are in right now, as far as how do you support, what do you do? And this is what she had to say.
Right. I mean, less like support them with money. It makes a huge difference whether you got like 1,300 people in the stand and maybe 8,000. They need this support, not from a monetary standpoint, from a, people cheering for them standpoint. And these are guys that have worked their whole lives to get to where they are. They're playing well, and there's nobody there to see it. To me, if you're an A's fan and you're boycotting going to games, boycott them on the TV too. Like, why are you sitting there watching it for free if you don't care enough to go support the players? I'm as heartsick as anybody that the A's are moving, but the players don't have anything to do with it. Go support the players, in my mind.
What do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the obvious of like the going to the games and buying tickets is directly giving them money versus
I was a little confused
TV.
with that.
To my knowledge, like, it doesn't matter how many people are watching. It's just a flat rate, right? Like, it's not like if they get elevated viewership on
It's a TV
NBC
deal.
Sports California. Yeah, it just kind of is what it is.
Right.
So I think that's kind of the big thing that, and Susan Susser knows way more about baseball, and definitely the A's situation. I believe she used to cover the A's before she was covering the Giants, so she's way more tapped into this than I would ever even remotely think to be. But that's the part that I didn't quite understand is, or it feels like there's some disconnect there, because it's the fact that A's fans aren't trying to support. It has nothing to. It's never had anything to do with the players. It's about the supporting of John Fisher, and it's honestly just, I mean, I'm sure those guys would love to support, and I don't think any A's fan feels any ill will towards the players, but it's just the situation that everybody's in, and it's not a great situation. But asking A's fans to show up to the games and say you're doing it in the name of the players, that's not the reality of the situation. I'm sure A's fans would love to just show up and support them, but the problem is you have to make a deal with the devil in order to do that.
Yeah, and then she said they don't need the support,
financially,
yeah. But the tickets aren't free. You got to drive.
Yep.
Logistically, it's not free. You got to drive. Yep. You're paying for the ticket, and then you're going to eat food there.
Yep.
So you're not just going there to cheer and leave.
Yes, exactly.
If puts you like this, if the A's, and the difference between, I know someone could probably Google right now, probably $5 to get into an A's game tonight, whatever it is.
Sure.
But the difference between that $5 and no dollars is a big deal to people that are scorned.
Right.
Right. And if John Fisher said for the end of the season, the last season in Oakland, nobody's coming anyway, we're just going to do 5 free games. Those games, there would be people.
Absolutely.
But there is a direct correlation, even if it's $2 tickets, to just not put anything in John Fisher's pocket. Now, whether you think that's worth it or not, you could ask 10 people and get 10 different answers.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know how I don't think anybody thinks that they're trying to help the A's monetarily, but there's no way to do that. These games are, I guess, like I said, even if the game is $3, the game is not free, and you got to drive out there.
Yeah, the time investment too.
Yeah.
Like, time is money, and there's a lot of things you could be doing with your time instead of giving it to them. I know we haven't drawn anything out or anything, but have you thought in this time of any solution that you think is better than what's going on?
No.
Yeah. I think it's tough.
Yeah.
It's obviously a really nuanced situation. But.
Everybody wants to be a part of something cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
So unless there was somebody big enough that could convince people, I think it would be Fisher. And you're not going to say no to that. To those, some money is better than no money, right? That wouldn't be a great business model. But I think it would take Fisher just coming off of his high horse, and even to this day, just saying, "Hey, I know we're going to Sac. I know we're going to Vegas. $1 tickets for the last 10 games."
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, It is what it is. I'm sorry this thing didn't work out. But this is like, because they're saying they're doing this ode to Oakland. That's the only way. I feel like if
you'll still make money, to your point, off concessions.
Yeah,
off of,
if he did
parking, all that stuff.
If he did $1 tickets for the last 10 games, I think that A's fans or more A's fans would say, all right, it is what it is. Let's go enjoy ourselves.
I hope it is 10 games too, because that gives people like a window to potentially do it. Because I think in their heart of hearts, a lot of A's fans want to say goodbye, but it's the moral dilemma of crossing over the picket fence in their mind. And, if you give them 10 games or at least like some optionality in which games they can choose, because that last game of the year seems like it's already pretty much sold out. Just figuring out how to give everybody a sense of closure, because it feels like it's been a little less aggressive on the A's fan front here. People were definitely really upset at just everybody involved, Sacramento fans, everybody in the situation. But I think it would do everybody really well to get a sense of closure and going to the ballpark for the last time, saying your goodbyes to Oakland and everything that city has meant to that organization. It would probably be really good for the healing process. It's not going to heal everything. It might not heal anything, but I think it will at the very least be a good step in the right direction for helping these people get over something that's going to be pretty traumatizing.
From the 707, they've jacked up prices on the final home game in September. That's the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the opposite. But that this is why it's not as simple as what Susan Slusher. Not that she's saying it's simple, but this is why people are saying I still can't kind of be a part of that,
because then they'll get taken advantage of. Sorry, real quick, because then it'll be, these people are buying. Oh, okay, now it's okay to buy tickets. People are buying tickets. Well, now we're going to raise the price of tickets because now we understand this thing's only going to be here for a limited time. Better get in while you can, and you're going to pay whatever you will to get in. So,
all right, coming up next, a comparison of two quarterbacks, one for the Niners, the other for a team in the East that cannot get over the hump. What did Rich Eisen have to say about the CBS QB power rankings, and where does your QB fall? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right out of the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this, because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
So basically, CBS, and we definitely talked about this, Chris. CBS put out a list, or their QB hierarchy, and they put Brock Purdy number 2 on that list, which is an interesting approach.
It's definitely a decision for sure.
And this is what happens in life. It goes from being underrated to, I'm not going to call him overrated, but some people probably would now at this point. And there's just no world where you can live in between. You're just one or the other. So last season, you have Brock, and nobody wants to give him any respect. And now this season, you have CBS putting him number 2. And Rich Eisen had some things to say when he saw that list.
The CBS list that Arnett was referring to: Patrick Mahomes, number 1, Brock Purdy, number 2.
I mean,
Josh Allen, 3, Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud,
but
Lamar,
that's to
6.
that's just to get somebody. I mean, and Purdy's my guy, right? But you got to be kidding me, please. Because honestly, Purdy's all yoked up now, right? I mean, so which is great for him, and I love him. But you can't sit here and tell me you're going to take Lamar Jackson. You take him over Lamar Jackson in the game that you got to win right now, straight up.
Who, Brock Purdy?
Yeah, Brock Purdy just
Why?
Come on.
Come on,
man.
I'm with you, Brock.
Guy was 4 minutes from the Super Bowl.
I
mean,
I totally get it.
Purdy,
I get it.
But what do you mean?
He's just begun to. He went into the Super Bowl with even folks like you, who is defending him right now, which is role reversal right now. We're all like, you still have to see what he can do with the game on the line.
And
you know what I mean?
The talent that he had surrounding him, like the receivers,
for real,
the running
man.
back, like
for real.
Plus, he didn't win MVP twice. Like all of a sudden, it does seem, and Arnett has a point when it comes to MVPs in Lamar.
Well,
it's like it doesn't matter.
No, it's just because Lamar has won 2 playoff games in his career right now, 2, correct?
2,
and that's it.
There's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Brock is not 2.
He's not 2. He's not 2.
He's not 2.
It's
Let's
an
start
interesting
there.
conversation. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting conversation, and you know, it's I don't know. I think it gets a little bit dicey. I agree with both sides. I just think 2 is way too high, but I do hear what Rich Eisen's saying there. Like and it has more so to do with feelings of Lamar than uplifting Brock. And I think it's a fair point. Like, I think Brock is somebody who is, at the very least, you feel safe in with him underneath center. You feel like, hey, he might not make necessarily the plays to win the game, but he's not going to lose the game. Lamar, we haven't necessarily always seen step up to the plate, and especially passing the ball. And then, I know it's the cliche thing to go for Lamar, but as a passer in the playoffs, it hasn't necessarily been there. It hasn't looked like how it's looked like with the other people. And I guess that's the argument with Lamar, is that the legs set him apart. But at the same time, Lamar has not been the runner that he was early in his career either. He's still really good with his legs, but it's not the explosive, electrifying, Lamar Jackson in open field like I think we like to think it is. I think there's a conversation there, but I still think as a talent, every GM, I would think, would much rather deal with the guy that Lamar is now and could potentially bring versus Brock Purdy, who I think is a safe pick. But I think you just have to bet on the tools of Lamar if you're doing a one versus the other.
This is the write-up for Brock. Let's give the kid the respect he deserves. 2 seasons, 2 NFC title games, 1 valiant Super Bowl effort. Does he have a sterling setup in San Francisco? Yep. Does he operate like a 10-year vet, managing the pocket as both an efficient and mobile gunslinger? Also, yep.
Yeah, but it kind of then starts to become the conversation that I think we had it the other day with Brock, but we were doing it with De'Aaron the other day with, okay, but put Lamar in that situation, and is it worse? Is it worse? Because it's at the least the same, I would think, if not better. So that's where that argument starts to get a little bit murky. I feel like if you put Lamar, which almost happened, let's not forget about all the people who were excited about, Niners should go out and get Lamar Jackson if he's really on the trade deadline or on the trade block. I think Lamar is definitely the more exciting player, which is going to get a lot of people more excited for it. But if you're somebody, if you're somebody who likes to run a more structured offense, I definitely think there's an argument that Brock Purdy does seem to run this Shanahan system better or as good as anyone can run it. And so that's that's if you have it set up for him, you could definitely make the argument Brock is the second best quarterback in the league behind only Mahomes for somebody in that system. But I just believe that if you give Kyle Shanahan any of the top other guys, if you give him Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, I would think it's at the very least going to look like what it looks like with Brock, if not even scarier.
Yeah, you have Josh Allen at number 3. He was up and down. Joe Burrow was injured. CJ Stroud, that was just his first year. Number 6, Lamar Jackson.
Then I think it's an open conversation.
Right.
Then you have your Jalen Hurts, your Dax, your Herberts. Yeah. It's an open conversation after that. But.
Yeah, Jordan Love is the hot name right now.
Yeah, a little too hot of a name.
You look, this is why, we have the conversations about NBA versus NFL. You're Jared Goff. You could sit at 13 your whole life and make a lot of money.
A lot of bills.
And Kirk Cousins is 14.
Yeah, exactly. And he's doing, both of those dudes are doing perfectly fine and are nowhere near even scratching the surface of the conversation, of this conversation we're having right now. And that's the thing about Brock. Like you said, why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't it just be he's really good and he's good for his team, and that's good enough? No, he's not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, but he doesn't have to be because the system around, he has the number 1 coach in the league, or he has a top 5 defense. He has a top 1 running back. He has maybe a top 4, top 5 receiving core. I think all of those things can be true, but I will tell you that him being the second best quarterback in the NFL is not true. He might play like the second best quarterback, but he is not. He himself does not have the second most enticing tools or package of the quarterbacks.
I can't wait for the season, man, because there's just so many guys: Hurts, Dak, Herbert, Jordan Love. I mean, they got Kyler Murray at 21.
That's
because he's been injured, but they have Baker in front of Kyler.
Crazy.
They have Russell Wilson in front of Kyler.
That's insane.
They have Geno Smith in front of Kyler, Deshaun Watson, Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Jared
Am I going to have to become a Kyler Murray apologist?
He's got to stay on the field.
He does. No, it's very fair. It's very, very fair. But when he's out there, I mean, he's great. I mean, he's maybe great's a stretch, but he's scratching towards top 10. Like he's getting there when he is healthy, but I guess that is a really big if. Plus, I mean, he hasn't really had a ton of weapons around him his entire time there. He now has Marvin Harrison Jr., so that'll be exciting.
And last but not least, well, he's not last, but he's close to
Where's Gardner Minshew on this list?
That's literally what I was getting to.
Good. Where's
he's
he
number
at?
29. He's in front of Bo Nix, Bryce Young, and Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Who's immediately in front of him?
Jaden Daniels, and then Jacoby Brissett, and then Derek Carr, and then J.J. McCarthy, and then Anthony Richardson, and then Caleb Williams, and then Will Levis.
You have fun having a conversation with Raider fans about who you would rather have over Derek Carr and Gardner Minshew.
That's going to be you this weekend again.
Yeah, it probably will be. Good luck. If you see a Raider fan, ask them how they feel about Gardner Minshew versus Derek Carr right now, and I would love to hear the answer.
Where'd Goff go?
Goff was 13.
13, okay.
Goff was 13. All right, coming up next, a former college basketball player has found a way to do this media thing and coach a D1 team.
JJ Redick could never.
JJ Redick will very soon. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Matched De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday is looking bright and sunny. Expect a pretty nice day today. It runs a little bit warmer, expecting highs to peak in the lower 90s with light west winds and overnight lows drop back to the 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautographexpo.com. That's sacautographexpo.com.
Winter's gone, so there's no excuses for missing out on Sacramento's premier country festival, Country in the Park. It's this Friday and Saturday. Don't miss your chance to see
Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jake Owen, Walker Hayes, Brian Kelly, Drew Baldridge, Brian Martin, Michael Ray,
Ingrid Andress, Priscilla Block,
Chase Matthew.
Tickets are only $46 per day. Buy your tickets now at CITPfest.com. That's CITPfest.com. Or take your chances at the gate. Brought to you by Junior Restaurant and Lounge, Vernick Academy, and Fieldhouse American Sports Pub. Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass. Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
Weekends are for Sacramento Rivercats baseball. Join us Friday, May 17th for a Patrick Bailey bobblehead to the first 2,500 fans, presented by Jackson Rancheria Casino Resort. Saturday, May 18th is Salute to Armed Forces Night, presented by Budweiser, with a pregame flyover by the U.S. Air Force. Stick around postgame for a fireworks show presented by Sutter Health. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
(916) Kyler Murray is the most overrated QB in the league. His work ethic is essentially non-existent. This is what I don't understand, right? It's really hard to overcome some things. And the whole highest paid player, I mean, that changes every year, right?
Yeah.
Have we complained about this? I just wish people would stop even saying the highest paid this, because it's just yearly.
Yeah.
It's just a yearly thing, right? It's just how the market changes. It's nobody saying at the time they think it's whenever I need to pay a QB and what the market is at the time I have to pay my QB. That's not me saying I think my QB is better than all the other QBs, and that's why they're getting paid more. That's not why they're getting paid more. So you had the video game where the video thing, the video game thing really killed him. I don't know how he comes back from that. I mean, I actually was on, what does Nate call it? And shout out Nate, get better, buddy. And I think Nate calls it the infinite scrolling. So I was stuck infinite scrolling on TikTok, and I saw Kyler Murray's response to, and this is what happens. You see the headlines, you don't really hear the response. So I don't know if you've ever heard the actual response to Kyler Murray for the video game thing. And he addresses everything. And he says, if you look at my numbers from high school on, all the records I've broke, and for me to do it at this stature, he says, and I'm paraphrasing here, it would be incredible if I could do all this and not look at film and not study and not work hard. There's no way I would be to get drafted. Yeah, he'd be Spencer baseball. To get drafted for Major League Baseball and in the NFL. And he just was basically saying, there's no way I could be that talented. Now, maybe he was blowing it up a bit, but to be fair, how could he have become who he's become? Right. And not now, maybe you just have to, he's got to do more now that he's in the NFL. But this idea that Kyler Murray just is, to the 916's point, I mean, I don't know how he's overrated when he's number 21.
Exactly.
I don't think is there anybody walking around right now saying I'd have Kyler Murray over, I don't know. You have to be in the top 10 to be considered overrated.
I would think so, yeah.
And I don't think Kyler Murray's in anybody's top 10 right now.
No, I don't think so. Not any top 10 that would be published, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think he's I think health is the biggest thing for him. I think he's shown talent. I think obviously he has the size thing, which is a very legitimate issue that he's never going to be able to overcome. But I think if he plays, there's no reason why he couldn't be a playoff caliber quarterback. Now, am I saying Kyler Murray's going to lift the Lombardi trophy one day? I'm definitely not going there, but I don't see why, if Kyler Murray's your quarterback, that would hamper you from success besides injury. Like, I think he's a good enough quarterback. If he had a good offense around him, why? I don't think he wouldn't succeed. I think he would be great. I mean, and I think Marvin Harrison's a good first step. I definitely think you give that dude some weapons, he can make some noise.
And this is what he's going to deal with for the rest of his career, right? So, yeah, just like the 916 said, his work ethic is essentially non-existent. And I would ask the question, 916, are you talking about anything other than that report with the clause?
Right.
Because they've basically, this is going to follow him for the rest of his career. And it doesn't, I don't know anything either way, but I don't know anything about anybody's work ethic.
Exactly. Right.
But the Cardinals told us
for some stupid reason.
There is a problem with his, and whether there was a misunderstanding or whatever it is, you can't power through that. And now we can't stay on the field.
Also, newsflash, not every single, but I would guess 90% of athletes play video games. A lot. Probably a lot more than what you would even understand. Like,
but it's about the quarterback,
about the position, for sure,
and all of that. From another 916,
what if he's playing Madden? Does that change anything? No.
Somebody was making jokes about that's how he was learning the playbooks. From hey Johnny K, what do the numbers say who the top quarterback was last year? Yeah, if you want to make that argument, Johnny K, if that argument, I'm assuming that argument is for Brock, that's fine.
Sure.
But there's a number. So again, and this is kind of what somebody on Rich Eisen's show was saying this as well. I mean, Lamar was MVP. Again, does that not matter now?
Right.
If Brock won MVP, everybody would be talking about he has
to be top 5. How can he be MVP and not be a top 5?
Exactly. Lamar wins MVP.
Right. And he's number 6.
And he's number 6 on that list.
Doesn't make sense. I mean, and Brock, to me, is the clear addition there, like where it's like you could very easily make it make sense if you just take Brock out of your top 5, put Lamar in the top 5, and then everything makes sense to me. And, also a lot of this could be, and I feel like I can already hear, I don't know if Whitey's in the building or not, but I can already hear him saying, this is what this was to get people riled up. The entire point of this article, the entire point of having a totally normal list, and then one glaring point is that it's going to get talked about, and they're talking about it on Rich Eisen. They're talking about it. We're talking about it now. So I guess that was ultimately the point of the article.
Rich Eisen also said
that,
talking
about it.
Rich Eisen said, "You know what they're trying to do here." Right?
Clearly,
But then he went on and talked about it.
Yeah,
but the reason it's not as egregious as people think is because, hey, Johnny K's point. If you look at the numbers
they were there
into next season, they were there.
They were there. Absolutely. I think it's more of a conversation of kind of what I said last segment of, okay, he might have played like the second best quarterback, but does that mean he is the second best quarterback? And I think you could stretch that to all sports. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, they were putting up these crazy numbers. Were they actually the best players in the NBA at that point?
Right.
Some would say yes. Some would say absolutely. Nobody's doing what Russell Westbrook is doing, but some would say no. Giannis is still the best. Right. Steph is the best player. LeBron is the best player. So I think, I think that it just kind of depends on what angle of the conversation you're doing. But if this is just as it was a raw quarterback ranking, I don't think you can have Brock at 2. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's the second most talented or whatever quarterback in the NFL. I just don't.
Yeah, I honestly, once you get,
it shouldn't be crazy to say.
Once you get to the top 5 for me, and I think it would be hard to keep Brock out of the top 5 going into this season. Sure. Once you get to the top 5 for me, I look at it like musical artists. I think that anybody you can pick besides Mahomes right now, who's your clear-cut number 1. The other 4, it's kind of like a musical artist to me. It's whatever you prefer.
Yep.
Somebody might prefer Lamar. Yep. Somebody might prefer Joe Burrow. Somebody might prefer Josh Allen.
And to that point, too, it might be who had the most recent good season or good performance, where it's like, okay, Joe Burrow didn't have a good year. He was hurt. So now he's number 4, but he has a good season. He'll be right back up at number 2.
Exactly. All right. When we return, we will do some crosstalk with the Drive guys as we break down what we know about the NFL schedule. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants. Did you know we love country music? Our Bennett's team will be setting up our Country in the Park kitchen to serve all country music fans. We will be grilling and preparing your favorite foods from Bennett's: giant cheeseburgers, chicken or mushroom Caesar salads, and of course, our legendary barbecue ribs and fried chicken. Did I mention crispy hot French fries? And most of our meals are gluten-free friendly. We will have a covered eating pavilion, so catch a bite, enjoy a bit of shade, and of course, all the great country music with Bennett's. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf Monthly lists 10 things great golfers don't do. They don't arrive at the course with minutes to spare. Get there in time to properly warm up. They don't follow one mistake with another. Take your medicine and move on. They don't lose their cool. Tiger takes 10 steps and the problem is gone from his mind. They don't give up. A bad round can always get better. They don't blame their tools. It wasn't the putter's fault you three-putted. And they don't worry about three-putting. Move to the next hole and try again. Great golfers don't take unnecessary risks. Keep those large numbers off the scorecard. They don't underclub. Weekend golfers think they hit the ball farther than they actually do. They don't always hit the driver. Put the big stick back in the bag when it's not behaving. And finally, great golfers don't hit balls randomly. Have a plan on the range and stick to it, and take that same plan to the course. It's a game. Have some fun out there. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie, urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins.
Show in the world.
Whitey,
yeah.
How long do you get to be the new tag team? Am I still new person?
No. I think until somebody else comes, that's it.
It has to be another show,
Yeah,
right?
It's got to be
Or new
replaced by something else.
until another show.
Okay. It's the new
Until
Ist,
there's another
you know?
tag team
Exactly.
in the midday.
Exactly.
Right now, it's just us.
It's just us.
All right.
Why
I'm
do
a
you-
fan. I'm a big fan.
And Chris, I just saw this. Jonathan Gavani, who's been doing all the posting for draft, overwhelmingly impressed. That's what people are saying about Bronny James.
The best 4 points anyone's ever seen.
Hey,
is that what the streets
way
are
he's been
saying?
testing athletically, his jump shot, all outstanding.
Yeah.
Crawling up the list there, Whitey.
Everything besides the game.
What you see, what Woj says as far as why teams want him, why they want Bronny.
Oh yeah,
yes. The because the G
And
League, your G League team will just be just
I don't
hand
buy
over
that.
fist money.
I don't buy that.
It's insane. Have you ever heard of anything like that? I mean,
No.
what is
No.
what is
I
the
don't buy
logic
it.
there? I don't see how it could happen.
You think people are going to line up to watch Bronny in G League?
I think they'll get more people at their games than they would without Bronny.
You really think so?
Yeah. I can say that, but Woj was trying to make it merchandise. He was making it sound like
This is Caitlin Clark.
starting today.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely. I don't
Take it up with Woj. I didn't
Oh,
know
we
it was-
already
No,
did.
this is you.
We
You're co-signing.
already did. And Whitey, so you were on my side. Chris and I were talking
hold
earlier.
on
No,
now.
hold on
What?
now.
What?
Hold on now.
What?
Because Whitey and I, when Chris, he was out of the room here during the break, and Whitey said that
Okay.
he did agree with me about the Golden State Valkyries and the color scheme and trying to placate to Sacramento and get Sacramento on board.
I don't know if I 100% agree. I agree that it was striking that it was like, wait, purple, what?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't believe that it was 100% with the intent to bring over Sacramento fans? I think it's a happy coincidence.
I don't know. I don't think there are any coincidences.
Thank you.
That's fair.
Neither do I.
That's fair.
Neither do I.
I just the Golden State part too is the part that I'm gonna really struggle to get over. I already had somebody post me, "Oh, it's so nice to have you as a Golden State fan, a Golden State basketball fan." Can't do it.
Wow.
Yeah. The Valks. That's what
I'll get you some gear.
It's fine.
I didn't think you got enough credit for your troll job on the Valkyries.
What's
on
that?
Twitter.
Oh, I know. I agree.
That was incredible.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
It was a little too advanced, I think.
I think so. That's what I said this morning. That's what I said.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not every joke is meant for the general public. It can sometimes it's just about those who know. Alan didn't find it very funny.
I got it.
Yes, like I said, he didn't find it very funny at all. So,
no, I got it. I definitely got it.
It's a great one.
It's
a great one.
Excellent.
So they're still a little his people are a little sensitive about 2016 stuff.
Yeah.
It's not my people. It's someone's people though. It's your people. You're the Golden State fan here. Valkyries.
Unconfirmed.
Why do you as the rest of the schedule gets announced tomorrow for the NFL, they've dropped a couple, and you have the the Jets and the Niners kind of starting out. Very weird situation with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers goes there. Essentially, they were a ready-made team. They just needed a quarterback. I feel like this happens a lot in football. It's always they just need a quarterback, then they get a quarterback, and it still doesn't happen. Now, those teams in the past haven't had Aaron Rodgers. But what do you think about the Jets?
I think the 49ers are 1-0. That's what I think.
You think? Okay. You don't think the Jets are going to make any moves this season?
They better hurry, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Robert Saleh revenge tour, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about the Jets, but I don't like Aaron. Not a big fan. So
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any excitement about the schedule reveal? I know the NFL tries to eventize everything.
You a schedule guy.
Like, is there what do we get excited for if about the schedule release? Just, I guess, if you're somebody who's buying tickets or intending to go to the games, I understand. But I mean, we know the opponents, we know which games are home and away. It feels to me like this is an NFL machine thing.
I like it.
I just try and make it into it.
We probably all of us, myself included, spend too much time on it, but it's interesting. I like to get a look at it. And
you do the whole 2-hour reveal party that NFL Network's going to do and all that stuff. I can't do it.
Yeah, the one thing I'll never forget about schedule release, this is like one of those COVID things. And I remember when the weird schedule came out that year, and someone was looking at it. It was Lucas, Lucas from where we used to work. And he goes, hey, I'm looking at the schedule here. The 49ers play the Saints on the same day as the Masters because they'd moved the Masters to November. And it was like, that's true. And that's the only time we'll ever be saying that. It was the weirdest thing. But that's what I remember. Oh, yeah, 49ers Saints, same day as the Masters this year.
Yeah, well, then there's a whole thing with, and we were talking about how unique of a situation it is out here in Sacramento because the Bay Area bugs you a little bit because of the Warriors, but then a lot of you are still fans of Bay Area teams, whether it's baseball or football.
It's not weird.
I think it's pretty weird.
It's not weird. It makes perfect sense.
I think it's weird.
This used to be Warrior country, apparently, because they didn't have a team. And the 49ers used to train up here. There's always been a ton of 49er fans up here.
Maybe not weird, but it's definitely unique.
But it makes sense to me. If they got a football team up here, then that rivalry would be on, but it's not. So the 49ers are beloved up here. The Warriors, boo!
Yeah.
It's not all Niner love, though. It's not that cut and dry.
No, but there's a lot of it.
The vast majority is for sure.
A lot of Raider love, too. I know. Raiders, and Vikings.
Oh, yeah. We're out here. We're out here. Let me tell you, it surprises me every day. Every time I run into a Vikings fan, I'm always surprised at how many just stray Vikings fans there are out there. And I think that's true. I always say it. I think that's true of Sacramento in general. I
agree.
I know there's a lot of Niner and a lot of Raider, but I swear you ask 20 people in Sacramento who their favorite football team is, you'll probably get 10, 12 different answers. I do think so.
I don't know if they still do this, Chris. This used to be true, I think, in the 90s, but sometimes when they would test a product or something, Sacramento was one of the markets they would use because it was seen as kind of a cross-section.
Yes.
And I'd never made – it's like, this is California, but I think that speaks to we have a lot of people from
diversity
a lot of different
in all
places
different in all different categories for sure.
Well, and that's what we had mentioned. Where is that line of how far a team is before it doesn't really feel like your team, right? So call it an hour and a half, or especially where the Niners play now, that's a solid 2 hours. Do you still feel like, oh, they're my team because they're the closest to me? Or after you get past that 2 hour marker, let's say we keep going up north and people that are now 3 hours away from the nine, what is that limit to where people say, I mean, is it really my hometown team? I live 2.5 hours away.
I don't know. Don't the Cowboys have fans like in different states? They're still considered.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just?
Team.
But that's my point. Just pick a random team then. There are people that are Cowboys fans that have never been to Dallas, right?
I know, but they're considered the closest. So that's
you're saying like in Texas.
No, I'm talking about other states. They embrace the Cowboys are considered our team because they're the close. They're not close, but they're the closest.
No, but I'm not saying that's not wrong. I'm just saying that once you get past that 2 hour mark, to the Chris's point with the stray, like do we know that Chris would be a Vikings fan if the Niners were only 30 minutes away?
It sounds to me like someone's struggling with his Bay Area ties here.
Not at all. Not at all. Drive Guys up next. Thank you to all the callers, texters, Sack Chat. Thank you, Simone. As always, that has been Stiles and Watkins. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the beam.
Minnesota! Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone.